Last year's football loss for Grand Valley and Houghton to Michigan Tech probably marked the low point of the season. Can the Lakers turn the tables on their longtime foe here tonight? And good evening, everyone, and welcome to Lover Stadium in Allendale, Michigan. From the campus of Grand Valley State University, I'm Tom Cleary, along with Bob Mitchell, as we get set to bring you the action tonight from the Grand Valley Michigan Tech football game. Bob, a great job done by Tom Curley over the last couple of seasons. A playoff team a year ago, undefeated so far this year. And the masters, they seem to be, of the short passing game with a quarterback completing over 70% of his balls so far.
Yeah, absolutely. They lead the nation in a lot of statistics. One of them, like you mentioned, the completion rate, also third down, over 60% on third down completion. Grand Valley's going to have to be aggressive defensively, man up on the outside, and get some pressure on this quarterback.
Grand Valley's got a guy putting up some numbers right now, too. Their quarterback, Bart Williams, now in the top 10 in Division II efficiency rankings for the season. This is a team, Michigan Tech, that plays 4-4, only two corners, one safety. They're going to have linebackers running in the secondary, and they're small in the corner against a big Grand Valley receiving core.
Yeah, talking with Matt Mitchell, he's very impressed and very happy about the progression of his quarterback, Bart Williams. He's done a great job getting better and better each game, and he's going to continue to have to do well with the great pressure that these defensive tackles in this front of Michigan Tech can put on him.
Well, these two teams have postseason playoff aspirations, but after tonight's game, probably only one of them will. It's a big game for both sides. The Huskies and the Lakers coming up next here on Xfinity and the Grand Valley Sports Network.
You learn something every single day at Grand Valley State University about who you are and who you can become, about where you've been and where you're going, about your goals and how to accomplish them. At the end of the day, you know what you want from life. Find it within yourself. Find it within Grand Valley State University.
Well, nice football weather for this one here at Grand Valley this evening as the Lakers get set to take on the Huskies. The leaves have turned. They're starting to fall. And the folks were having a good time out there before we got started with this one. A lot of tailgaters on hand, and a lot of folks from Michigan Tech have made the journey down. I think a lot of people have come from other parts of the state as well. That'd probably be the better thing to say. But it's been a beautiful day here. We expect a great game. And Bob, you were talking about the feeling on the sideline for Grand Valley. This is a disaster game for Grand Valley last year. Went up to Tech, got hit with 5 touchdowns before they ever righted the ship. But really, since that time, Grand Valley has been a better team.
You know, coaches talk about the previous year and how you can use that as motivation, and they don't like to because it's a whole new group of characters and a whole new group of players. But I got to think Grand Valley remembers going up to Michigan Tech and really getting it handed to them. And I was down on the sidelines, and I said it to some of the coaches. I have never seen the intensity and the focus that I've seen on the pregame warm-ups like I saw tonight. And I think Grand Valley's really knows that this is one of the games that is a path to the playoffs for them. A good Michigan Tech team, ranked number 9 in the country, undefeated, coming into their house, and Grand Valley's trying to take care of business tonight.
Well, Grand Valley will be facing Brandon Cowie, a first-year starter at quarterback who's been outstanding, 93 of 129. They don't put the ball on the floor very often in the passing game. They just throw it short, and they've got some people including the big tight end Ian Winkie, who's had 22 catches this year. They go short, which helps them in this regard. Grand Valley's great strength defensively has to be the push they get from Matt Judon, also DJ Hogan, guys like that. Tech will try to negate that with the quick throws, so it's going to be on those people in under coverage, the safeties and really the linebackers, that are going to have to get it done here as Grand Valley gets set for the opening possession. The Lakers will receive the opening kickoff. They'll move from south to north here as we get started. Josh King, I believe, is the guy out there right now getting set to put it down on the tee. Kirk Spencer is back for Grand Valley, we think. New uniforms for this game tonight, and even though, Bob, people around here think that you and I call all the shots at Lever Stadium, they didn't consult with us on the uniforms, which are pretty jazzy, a little difficult to read from this far away.
We'll do our best.
Yeah.
Got the glasses on, so we'll see what we can do with it.
Okay, well, it's on the tee, and we are set to go. The students are getting into it a little bit, and here we go with Michigan Tech and Grand Valley. Tech 5-0, the Lakers 5-1. This ball is going to sail. It will be returned, though. And here come the Lakers on the first possession, and it's Kirk Spencer trying to get up to the 20, running a little bit horizontally and only making the 17. And Grand Valley will move it from that point, 1st and 10. Grand Valley with Williams. He's got a core of receivers. Matt Williams has done very well this year. Potts and Bean, all game changers. And in the backfield, we'll see Kirk Spencer. We'll also see a guy that I think might be the key man for Grand Valley offensively tonight. I'm going to say Martavius Carter is a guy that we're going to really watch. Power runner, starting to come on. He's got the best average gain numbers of really anybody for Grand Valley who's played a significant amount of time. Grand Valley with the quick shuffle outside, and the Lakers are going to pick up some yardage on first down. That's a nice spin, and Spencer moves it all the way forward to the 30-yard line, Bob. He broke a couple of tackles there, and it's a good positive start for Grand Valley.
And a great job on the outside by Brandon Bean blocking right here. You'll get a good look at it. Gets a good hold of the cornerback on the outside and just makes some room. And Spencer, just a great second effort. Michigan Tech's going to have to tackle a lot better than that with this kid.
That's not the start that Tech wanted to see. They really kept the Lakers offense in check. It was a different team, though, certainly a different quarterback. Lakers will go with 3 to this side, and the ball is late down the middle, and that's a disaster, and it's going to be dropped. Intended for Brandon Bean, right into the hands of the defender Derek Ferris. It was too easy. That's the only thing I can think of.
I think he was looking to run before he caught the ball. The biggest mistake a wide receiver can make as we take a look at the Michigan Tech defense.
Well, they've got some guys up front that will prevent the push. I want to take a look at the guys in the back side, though. When you take a look at those corners who are not real big, and we're talking about Jalen Williams-Boone is one of them back there. He's a guy that's going to really have to be on his game tonight because they're small, but that was a big mistake by Bart Williams that he got away with there on that first down throw.
You mentioned small at 5'7" and 5'9" at the corners. Grand Valley could take advantage of those little corners.
Now Grand Valley does not seal the edge there. Spencer cuts it back inside to get to about the 32. It'll be 3rd down and 8 coming up. And Bob, if we go back to that previous play that Grand Valley had, we'll see the replay of the Spencer run here. What is the quarterback thinking about when he throws one kind of late into coverage down the field with very few real viable options?
Well, on that play right there, it looked like Bart Williams had his mindset up before where he was going with the ball, and then at the same time he had someone at his feet, so he wasn't able to step into the ball, and just a really bad mistake that Bart Williams was able to get away with. He's going to have to be a little bit more careful with that ball coming up for the rest of this ball game.
He sends Jamie Potts in motion this time. He's looking out toward this side. Now he steps and clears some space. He could run if he wants to. He made the decision a little bit too late, though, and he's going to come up shy of the first down. That was not bad decision making. It just wasn't quickly enough.
Absolutely. Like you said, he made the right decision, maybe a little bit late, but they're going to give him an unbelievable spot right here.
Boy, Tom Curley's got to be hot over on the sideline there. He is really upset. And they move the chains. We saw Williams stick the ball out, but it didn't look to me like he gained the 40.
It looked like up here he was going to be a yard or two short. We'll get a really good look at it right here. He steps out right.
Well, it's not the best picture there. He's angling out. He doesn't really get turned upfield. That's a huge break for Williams. He's had 2 here so far tonight. And Grand Valley's running it on first down. And this is Spencer again. We haven't seen Carter yet. It's a pickup of 3. And Michigan Tech, maybe they can use that as motivation that they feel they got jobbed on that 3rd down play. It was questionable. Maybe Grand Valley goes for it, makes it anyway, so you can't say what would have happened. not a game changer in the first quarter, but it's a break that Grand Valley will try to take advantage.
Grand Valley's going to try to continue to establish the run, but Michigan Tech, with their two really good inside defensive players, and Tanner Agan and Brandon Hutchinson, two outstanding defensive tackles for Michigan Tech. It's going to be hard going for the Lakers to get some rush up in the middle.
And here is Marty Carter, who I talked about a little while ago. And this is what Carter seems to give you, about 4 or 5 no matter what. He's just got that forward lean. He's a bigger back than Spencer. And quite frankly, he hasn't had to take the pounding that Kirk has taken over his career.
Well, if you're Grand Valley and you're the coaching staff, you really like what the offensive line and the running game has been able to do right now. You put yourself in a really good position at 3rd and short with a couple of run plays right near midfield. It's exactly the game plan what Grand Valley wants to follow. Keep an eye on DeLuca, the big fella on the right side. I was down there in the pregame looking at his right hand. He's got his thumb, and he's got another issue with another finger, literally a club on his right hand. Can't use any of his fingers to grab. Very difficult for an offensive lineman not to have his hands available to him.
Play clock down to 2. Williams is going to have to get it snapped, and does. He's going to hand it to Spencer, and Spencer, well, he just stopped. It's not a real direct approach for Grand Valley, and that's been a bugaboo for the Lakers this year. They just have not been able to run outside effectively, and they don't do so that time.
A little surprised with the play call right there. Grand Valley using the run really effectively in the first 2 downs to get themselves in a 3rd and short situation. That's a play right there where you want to spread them out and let Bart just get a short passing play to get them to the 1st down.
Well, they seem to keep going back to that well, as if to say, you know, we've got to demonstrate that we can do this, but they just haven't been able to do it. This is Potts. He'll roll to the right side and try to cut off half of the field here, and he gets off the kick. Here's the problem with that, though. It sails, well, that ball stayed inbounds a long time, down inside the 20 at about the 17-yard line, maybe the 19 now. We'll take a break, come back with more from Allendale after this.
At Metro Health, we don't see patients, we see people. And when it comes to their health care, there's one thing we're all working toward: helping them feel better. Better summers, better dances, better retirements, and better roads ahead. This is what we want for every person we see every day. Better. Metro Health. Better all around.
Well, there's no trouble with definition with these uniforms here tonight. Michigan Tech wearing black and gold, and Brandon Cowie leads them out here. Tech is a power football team, a short passing team. They're going to hand it off for a decent gain from just shy of the 20 out to about the 23 on 1st down. John Williams. And it'll be 2nd and 7 coming up for the Huskies. Cowie, a 72% passer. One of the guys to keep an eye on is Winky, the tight end, number 88. He is a load. And their wideouts are pretty big. Maybe not fleet. They're not going to beat you over the top, Bob, but they're good possession type catchers. And this is a nice little play, a little look to the left by the quarterback, and then he just kind of opens up with the right shoulder as if he's going to go out into the flat, and then he takes it right up the middle for a sizable gain, about 6. Grand Valley with Judon, Hogan, Rosenquist, and Alton Voss up front. Joe Moran's a key man tonight for the Lakers. Also David Talley. Those guys will be forced to run in coverage. Pugnier and Carey, the safeties. Trey Walton and Devin McKissick. Another guy to keep an eye on tonight for Grand Valley is the emerging linebacking star, Colin Schlosser, who's played very, very well. They give it off on 3rd down. Grand Valley, I think, may have gone offside there. It's going to be a 1st down carry for Tech, pending the outcome of this penalty decision. If it had been against Tech, they would have stopped the play. So it's obviously going to be against the Lakers, and I think Michigan Tech will take the penalty here and pick up some additional yardage.
We saw right there in a 3rd and 1 situation, one of the reasons Michigan Tech is so successful on their 3rd down conversions, over 60% leading the nation, is because they get to put themselves in such great positions on 3rd and short very often.
Yeah, nice bit of work done by Tech there. Kevin Miller in the game right now at the running back spot. Tech is going to hand it off, and he's got good yardage up to near the 40-yard line. So it's a pickup of about 5, and they're getting some push on that right side. Generally, it's a good idea when you've got a pass rusher, Bob, to go at him, make him check his momentum a little bit. And quite honestly, a lot of pass rushers, not Matt Judon necessarily, are not the real big physical guys. They're more linebacker types in that 3-point stance, and they can be pushed around.
This is a methodical offense. You're seeing it already here on the first drive. And this is what Michigan Tech does. They love to possess the ball. They lead the conference in time of possession offensively, and they're doing a great job of starting off here, putting themselves in a second and mid-range situation.
Let's keep an eye on the slot receiver here. Now Grand Valley gets somebody out here, and this is a ball that's out in the flat for a first down, and the catch is made for Michigan Tech to David Walter. Walter is not marginally listed as a starter, but he is one of their leading pass grabbers. He's been a guy that they have thrown to a fair amount this year, and that's just a good play. Quarterback creates some space. Grand Valley cannot get the safety out there in time. It's an easy pitch and catch for a first down for the Huskies, and this is what Grand Valley can't afford. They can't just let Tech dink them down the field. Somebody's going to have to step up and make a play. Tech's going to go up the middle this time, and that's another real fine gain. A pickup of maybe 7 or 8 on the play, and getting up off the bottom of the pile is Kevin Miller, who will get up over the 200 mark sometime during this game. He has rushed 45 times this year for not a lot of yardage, but he's a tough yardage back. Grand Valley's got people there, but Konepke, Bruink, View, Mateer, and Schultz doing a good job. The front 5 for Tech so far in this contest.
I'm going to look at Grand Valley making some adjustments here, even on this drive early. Try to put a few more guys in the box and try to go man-to-man outside. They're wide receivers, good possession receivers, but nobody with blinding speed that's going to beat you over the top. Grand Valley's going to have to take some chances to try to come up and make a play.
Well, they try to make the play right here. They don't get it. It's going to be a nice gain for Tech, and the reason why that play succeeded is that Tech made the block on the corner. That's a little kind of a screen bubble look, and if the defensive back doesn't get past the first block, and we'll see it here, this is going to be a successful play. And there you see the block made, and I think that was on
Trey Walton.
Trey Walton, yeah. The corner over on that side. Yeah.
Did a nice job of reading the play, but Michigan Tech just did a better job of blocking it up.
It looked to me like Walton was just a little bit apprehensive, Bob. He didn't really sell out on that first move, and if you don't do that, you're not going to get there.
Empty backfield.
Miller's the guy that goes in motion this time. This is what Tech wants to do. They want to put you to sleep, and Tech probably watched the film of the Ferris game when Ferris did this very well against Grand Valley. Andrew Clark with his 20th catch of the year right there. Pickup of about 6. That was a play that Grand Valley played a little bit better, but I think the difference is Ferris has more playmakers than Michigan Tech and on the outside, and that would have been a bigger gain had the receiver been a little bit quicker.
But you look at the play right there, 2nd and 5. It's basically a run play for them. A controlled pass behind the line of scrimmage, get the receivers up, making some blocks. These corners and these safeties are going to have to get off these blocks and make some plays.
Tech just mowing it down the field. They're going to throw short here, and here's the big man to catch at the 30-yard line. It's Winky. Hasn't scored a touchdown yet this year, but he is a 6'5" guy, and he is a large man, and he can run a little bit. I mean, he's not just a big lumbering hulk. He can move his feet, and he gets turned up the field here and even makes a little bit of a move on Garrett Pugnier.
He's not going to break many big, long plays, but he's a great possession receiver, and he's a big, wide body. He can get open.
Reminds me a little bit of the game back in 2013 with West Texas A&M when they came out like this. Big quarterback and Dustin Vaughn. And they threw it like this, and Grand Valley eventually had to make the change. And there's that guy in the gap, and Grand Valley misses a tackle and out of bounds after a first down. I think it was Short that, or not Short, but Dante Curie, 32, who does not make the play here. We've commented on this in the past, Bob. Usually you'll see a guy pressing on the guy way outside, but that inside receiver's got a lot of space.
A lot of space. Dante Carey had it read, and if he makes the tackle, it's a no gain or short gain, and that's just a basic fundamentals right there. Break down, make the play, make the tackle.
I think you're right. Grand Valley's going to need another guy in the box, and they're going to have to depend on these corners to handle the load one-on-one.
Which I think they can do. They can do that one-on-one.
Tom Curley gets a timeout here. He didn't like this at all. I think his quarterback was trying to change. So we'll keep it right here. Michigan Tech and Grand Valley, no score, but it's been a very impressive first drive for the Huskies in this one. There you see Tom Curley with his team gathered around. It wasn't that long ago, and Michigan Tech was talking about getting rid of their football program. They crunched the numbers. They thought it wasn't working for them, and One thing that some people overlook, I think, in this conference is that you've got Michigan Tech, Northern Michigan, and Ferris State, and for that matter, Lake State, all which doesn't play football, all playing Division I hockey. Yeah. So they view things a little bit differently than, say, people would at Grand Valley or Hillsdale or some of the other schools.
You go back to the decision where they were going to drop the program, and Grand Valley actually stepped up and helped them out. They played a game at the Big House. Michigan, it should have been a Grand Valley home game, and then let all proceeds go to Michigan Tech to help them reestablish their football program.
And that was a great day. The crowd of, I think, 55,000 for that one. Here's the throw, back shoulder throw, beautifully done. It's a catch for Andrew Clark in front of Devin McKissick. And McKissick had pretty good coverage, but that's a play that's really come into the vogue of college football. It's a back shoulder throw all the way. McKissick has turned and run. If that ball's out in front, he's going to knock it down or catch it himself. But instead, it's behind, and it's 1st and goal for Michigan Tech, which has come out and played perfectly here in the first almost 10 minutes of this game now. We're blazing through this opening quarter. Cowie going to take it himself. He's going to walk it down near the goal line. He stopped just shy. I thought he was going to get in there. That's the second time they've had that look where he dips the shoulder as if he's going to throw it out in the flat to the right or maybe toward the pylon. Then he just takes off, and Grand Valley does a pretty good job of stopping him. A whole raft of people got there, but it's this kind of situation in which Michigan Tech excels. So here's the old I formation here. The fullback dive. It's a touchdown for Michigan Tech. I believe that was Sherbanow who got it.
Yep.
And walked in for the score.
And a great job by Michigan Tech. Again, controlling the line of scrimmage, doing a great job. No big plays on that whole drive right there. Just 5, 7, 8, 9-yard drives. It's what they do. They possess the ball. Like I said, they lead the conference in the time of possession. Grand Valley is going to have to make some adjustments. And Grand Valley, again, back-to-back weeks where they get off to a little bit of a slow start. Last week against Wayne State, kind of the same type of start, and they made the adjustments.
Well, it's perplexing for Grand Valley. They have allowed themselves at home to fall behind early. It's 7-0 Michigan Tech, 4.5 left after Alex Sherbanow scores. More to come on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
What if a home phone could also be a smartphone? And what if that home phone could save you money on your home and wireless bill at the same time? With Xfinity Voice, you get amazing technology like readable voicemail on your smartphone, caller ID on your TV, and even text messaging, all for a low price. Start saving with unlimited nationwide talk and text and switch to Xfinity Voice for just $19.99 a month for 12 months. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
I'm almost done.
Now you can pay your bill, manage your appointments, and check your connection status. Anytime, anywhere.
Oh, so you're protesting? Okay.
Introducing Xfinity My Account, available on any device.
All right. Grand Valley hopes for a restart here after allowing an 80-yard scoring drive for Michigan Tech that looked like they were just falling off the truck there, Bob. It was just as easy as pie for the Huskies. And here's the kick that will come to Spencer again at about the 6-yard line. Misjudged it a little bit, trying to run left. Can he get a block? Oh, he's going back the other way and gets to about the 25, 26, 27, 28, and he finally goes down there. Let's take a look at what Michigan Tech did in that opening drive. That was the run that we saw from Brandon Cowie early on, and then some nice work done by Kevin Miller. The running back pass to the fullback. You don't see that every day in this league or any other.
You see all these short passes. It's what Michigan Tech does, and they do a great job of being consistent.
And then Sherbanow jumping in from a yard out for the score to make it 7-0. Grand Valley brings out the crew again. It's a little bit quiet here tonight. The crowd down just a touch here. Grand Valley's got the spiffy new uniforms. Hopefully it'll be a late arriving crowd. Here's a ball out into the flat, and I don't know what happened there. That was intended for Spencer, and it just went right through his hands, and he was not under any kind of duress.
Kind of looked exactly what Derek Ferris, the defensive back for Michigan Tech, did earlier. Just took his eyes off it, tried to run a little bit before he caught the ball, turned his head up. You can see it right there, and there was yardage to be gained right there. Those are the mistakes Grand Valley can ill afford right now, especially down 7-0. Michigan Tech moving the ball very, very well. Grand Valley's offense has to come up with a drive right now.
Grand Valley with 3 wide. Marty Carter moves over a notch, replacing Spencer. He's coming out of the backfield. Now they're going bubble screen again. There's an opportunity here. It's a nice move by Bean outside over the 40 to the 44-yard line. Well done by Grand Valley there, and a player down for Michigan Tech on the play, limping back to his feet. One of those big defensive linemen. In fact, I think it was Brandon Hutchison who goes off. He's going to take himself out of the game. And this is what Grand Valley can do for you. And it was Marty Carter who made the key block on the outside. Real nice play by the young man. And Bean picks up excellent yardage on the play. And Grand Valley out near midfield now at the 44.
You know, some players down on the sidelines when you're down there on the field that you look at and just say, wow, and Brandon Bean's one of them.
Boy, there is a ball that Williams would catch 9 times out of 10. The ball was up about shoulder high. It looked like he couldn't decide which way to go with his hands on that one, Bob, and he just did not concentrate and look that one all the way in.
I was going to say what a great route he did, and did a nice job of coming back to the ball at the end of this route. Matt does a great job delivering the ball, or Bart, I'm sorry, perfectly right there to Matt Williams, and just maybe a hair behind him, but it's a ball that you got to come up and make those catches. These are mistakes, these little things that are going to add up for Grand Valley. They can't afford to do those.
Grand Valley gets a procedure penalty here on 2nd down. That'll move it back to the 39. Well, you're absolutely correct. Grand Valley has had 2 drops in this drive by veteran guys and not people that you'd expect to drop it. If a linebacker drops one like that, you feel badly for him, but a receiver can't do it.
And then a false start right there. I mean, just these little mistakes. These are the things that are drive killers that you got to continue to keep an eye on if Grand Valley cannot come out of this funk. Michigan Tech obviously came out and did a great job. They're the least penalized team in the nation. Michigan Tech is a very disciplined team, so you're not going to get any mistakes out of them.
Well, Tech came with the pressure and 2nd down. Grand Valley actually had the proper play call, the bubble screen, but the receiver ran into the blocker, and I didn't see who that was for Michigan Tech. Somebody on the right side made a good play to get up into the face of 2 players almost accidentally.
Nick Brajic did a great job of just breaking that up, beating the block on the outside and getting into the play here. We'll get a good look at it on the replay.
It's the right play. Grand Valley releases, but Grand Valley doesn't make the block outside, and that play can't go without that. Bean is the man in motion now. Tech showing blitz. I think they're going to drop back into coverage, though. They do come with a little bit of extra pressure. Ball up over the top. It's caught by Jamie Potts. He's going to be close to the 1st down. Boy, it is very close to the 1st down, but I think Grand Valley might be in a position to go here on 4th down and about a foot. That was one heck of a catch by Jamie Potts. There was a protest over there. Thankfully, we're not going to wait a half hour for a replay, and there's no question it's a 2-footed, it's a 3-footed catch for Jamie Potts. He got both feet down and one of them twice. So now Grand Valley looking to go on 4th down. They do bring Spencer back into the ball game here. I thought we might see Marty Carter. And I'm not so sure this is going to be a running play for Grand Valley. Now Spencer moves over. They do give it off to Spencer. He's got the 1st down, but there is a ball on the turf. What do they say?
No, they're going to give him the forward. Forward progress. Give him the 1st down, and Grand Valley fortunate enough right there. Spencer does a nice job of planting that left foot and just dropping his shoulder down just enough to get that 1st down. Big play for Grand Valley.
I saw when Spencer was pushed back, I thought that ball had actually popped up for a second, but
great job of Phil right there by Ben Talkin. Did a nice job of coming in, and he lost his helmet. He'll be out of play. Or not. They're leaving him in.
Grand Valley might be bringing that to the attention of the officials, but they do not. So now Matt Williams calls timeout, or Bart Williams rather, with the clock down to 3 there. So it's one of those circumstances when it happens, there's confusion after a 1st down has been made. Nobody's quite sure when the reset starts, and then the quarterback is left without enough time.
Not a bad idea, though, there, Bart. Not sure on the clock, not really have the play set. Use your timeout. You don't need any more penalties on this drive. You're into Michigan Tech territory. get a good call here on first down and continue to get this momentum, keep this drive going.
Grand Valley has to feel good about that, Bob. Like you said, there have been 3 mistakes on this drive, and it hasn't been going that long.
Yeah.
2 drops and a penalty, and yet they're still looking at a 1st and 10 in Michigan Tech territory.
Grand Valley's got to be as patient as Michigan Tech is with their offense right now. Michigan Tech playing what we call kind of a bubble coverage on the outside. They don't want to give up the big play. Grand Valley's got some big-time receivers and big playmakers in Matt Williams and Brandon Bean. And the last thing Michigan Tech wants to do is give up the big play and the quick score.
It's going to be interesting to see where Tech goes with the extra coverage. This is a ball down the middle in.
Wow, what a ball.
Side the 25-yard line. I think it's Bean down there who made the catch. It is. He's got a first down. Almost takes off the head of the umpire there when he threw the ball back to him.
Watch this look right here. Bart Williams has a great look, throws it right into the alley right there before even Brandon Bean makes his cut. What a great throw by Bart Williams.
That's a confident play, too, because it was a decent drop by Ben Talkin, and the ball was thrown really before the cut was made. That one whizzed by the ear of Talkin. He was not able to get back, and good vision.
Yeah.
You can do that when you've got a quarterback who's 6'5" and has that over-the-top delivery.
And I'm not sure Bart makes that throw in week 1, week 2, week 3. The confidence that this kid has built over the last 6 games, that's a great play for Bart Williams, a mature throw.
Grand Valley looking to go again. Now they've got a man wide open. Should be 6, and it is, of course, Jamie Potts for the Laker touchdown.
Phenomenal play right there. Great draw up there. They faked the bubble screen in there. They got a guy running the post to bring the safety over the top. Leaves the back corner wide open for Jamie Potts, who was stalk blocking and then just releases. Great design, great play by Coach Tim Morrison, the offensive coordinator, and his staff.
Well, what I like about that was the little bit of the fake by Bart Williams, and people came scurrying up, and all of a sudden, if you saw that up in the box, if you're a Tech coach, you're going, uh-oh, bad thing was going to happen. And it is Joel Skipper who knocks through the extra point, and we are tied at 7. 2:04 left in the quarter. More to come on Xfinity and the Grand Valley Sports Network.
Dudes, been a couple of A-plus roommates. And I hate to do this because you guys have been cool with everything. You're cool with my band. You're cool with that English accent phase. Remember that?
We're literally out of milk.
And that theater troupe.
Hey, down up. Hey, could you give me a second, please?
But State Farm's helped me be really smart with my money, and I got my own pet now. Oh, no big deal, Mom, Dad. My new place doesn't allow pets. Dylan's gonna have to stay here. One love, Pops.
Start out right in life. With everything from renter's insurance to your first bank account, State Farm is there.
My fathead cave! My fathead cave! Oh my gosh! Yes! What was that? The bear! They gave my body, Daddy!
That looks really good. They look good?
This is my fat head.
I'm so excited for her. The goosebumps.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome!
Do you like it?
I love it!
Well, nice answer for the Grand Valley Lakers here against Michigan Tech. And if you're just joining us right now, following the conclusion of the Michigan State U of M game, which was won by the Spartans, welcome. Tom Cleary with you tonight, along with Bob Mitchell and the rest of our broadcast crew from Lubbers Stadium. And I still see people trickling in, which leads me to believe, Bob, that some people just couldn't draw themselves away from what was happening at the Big House. But State continues on unbeaten, and Skipper's kick comes down inside the 10. He's got a lot of height on that one as well. Let's see if the kick coverage team can get it done for Grand Valley, as they have been throughout the season, and they do. The return there by James Henderson. And here's the summary. This is really one of the big plays of the drive. It was the ball to Bean that kind of got things going. And then later, that third down catch by Jamie Potts. A ball over the middle to Bean for another big gain. And then later, Grand Valley going up on top. Potts gets past the defender, Nick Brajak, and he's into the end zone for the score that ties the game at 7 following the PAT. The pass, 17 yards from Bart Williams to Jamie Potts. Let's see if the defense can get dialed in here. Sherbino on first down. He's going to carry it out to, actually, that is not Sherbino. It's the guy that we just talked about a moment ago, James Henderson, who carries it on first down.
5'9", 205 sophomore from Midland, Michigan. One of the few down lower peninsula players started getting some playing time on this team. But Grand Valley right there went man-to-man on the outside, brought that extra man like we talked about on the inside, blitzed the linebacker and put pressure on that running game.
Boy, DeAndre Hogan got a great push that time, and Tech is going to get a first down out of this play thanks to the great play by Cowie to avoid the rush. It's an easy catch, relatively speaking, at the end of that play for the wide receiver David Walter. But looked as though Grand Valley had something going that time with a perfectly timed move up the middle.
Just a blown coverage on the outside. Both of the defensive, the safety and the corner jumped the Garrett Fisher, the wide receiver on the outside, left the underneath receiver wide open. That's just a poor job of communication by the secondary for Grand Valley.
Cowie looking to go again. He's going to throw a short ball, and Grand Valley's backing off. That's a big hit as Tech moves into Grand Valley territory. But it's another catch for David Walter, who I think has already had 3 tonight. Nice play action look here, and Cowie's impressive. He's a guy who waited for his opportunity to play, and he's done very, very well. He's a junior from West Bend, Wisconsin.
First-year player, but a lot of experience. You can tell just the poise and the composure that he has, and his completion rate speaks for itself. He's a kid that has gotten some playing time in the past from Michigan Tech and some cleanup duty, but doing a great job here tonight.
Well, Tech empties it this time. They go across the middle. It's going to be a first down, I do believe. The pass right at the 45-yard line, which will move the chains. And the receiver that time was Ian Fisher. Fisher makes the catch. He is from Frankenmuth, little Bavaria over there on the other side of the state. And he pulls it down, and they will move the chains here.
Let the quarter run out on that one.
Exactly what's going to happen. It's been entertaining so far. Both teams with a strike. We're tied at 7. Michigan Tech on the prowl again. We'll come back with more after this on Xfinity in the Grand Valley Sports Network.
Many of our customers are repeat customers. Once they travel with Cardinal, they come back time and time again.
Our drivers are the best in the industry. We have so many positive comments about our drivers.
Cardinal Bus, 85 years of safe, reliable, worry-free transportation. Call us at 800-348-7487.
When cold refreshment calls, Coors Light answers. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Very nice night. There you see it. That's the classic Man in the Moon picture right there, the quarter moon.
Always a beautiful night, beautiful day out at Lubber Stadium.
It's chilly, a little bit chilly, but it's very nice in terms of very little wind. Kind of similar to what we had here in Allendale last night for the women's soccer match between these two schools. It was won by Grand Valley 7-0. And that was Cowie against a better push from Grand Valley. They broke down the pocket. Would have liked to have had a sack. DJ Hogan a little bit lucky there. Had his hand up into the grill of the offensive lineman. I'm sure that the Tech people are thinking about that. It's a short gain on first down, about a yard, 2nd and 9. One wide receiver. This is a power running formation right here for Michigan Tech. Almost looks like they don't have enough people out there. Cowie running right. They're going to go out and up, and the ball is thrown behind for a completion. And the problem there for Devin McKissick is he never, ever turns to look for that ball. He was within spitting distance of it, but he's got to turn around and find it, and he doesn't. And it's not a great throw here. I don't think it's a back shoulder throw by any means. Cowie gets it out there to Ian Fisher. He was just trying to get rid of it, Bob.
I agree, but I think he also put it in a position that only his receiver can catch it. So a great play by Cowie, and like you said, McKissick has got to do a better job at turning his head. He's a young kid, a freshman, does a great job, great speed and great athleticism, but he's got to recognize that he's got to find the receiver a little quicker on that play and be able to turn his head and get a play in.
Cowie is hit as he throws. That ball is a fumble, and Grand Valley's got it. Tom Curley thinks that the arm was coming forward. What are they going to say? The referee didn't think so.
Let your All-American make a play right there. Matt Judon firing from the outside, gets his hand on the ball and does a great job dislodging. We'll get a good look here whether or not his hand was going forward.
Yeah, it's
we might have
close.
an argument, but
it's
hey.
pretty close. I at first when I saw it, Bob, I thought it was definitely coming forward, but the referee looked right at it. When he threw the beanbag, that's the indication that
no replay
he thinks it's a fumble.
Too, so they're going to stick with the call. And if you take a nice look at it here, I think his arm might have been moving forward right.
It's awfully close, though.
Close.
You know, it's arguable.
It is close. But either way, Grand Valley, huge play. They needed a turnover to stop the methodical offense that was just burning them up for yardage.
Grand Valley goes play action. They're going out on top. Out here is Judson.
Oh man!
Unbelievable catch by Nick Dodson.
We talked about the defensive backs not turning and find the ball right there. Derek Ferris does not turn and locate the ball, and Dodson catches the ball almost on his shoulder, almost like the Stanford catch we saw on Thursday night.
That was unbelievable. This is not a big guy, Nick Dodson. He's got great wheels. He's out there, and the defender, he has to feel that one whizzing by his ear hole. And the guy out there trying to make the play, as you mentioned, Derek Ferris, is right there, along with Jalen Williams-Boone, and either one of them might have knocked it down. Well,
how many times have we seen Grand Valley in the past coming out with a big play after the turnover, sudden change?
This is better from Kirk Spencer. He got face mask there or horse collared. No flag. Wow. Well, Grand Valley can't gripe too much about that. They've had a couple of good breaks from the referees in the early going, but it's the best burst we've seen from Kirk Spencer. Let's see what happens here. Is it a face mask or is it a horse collar? That's
Just
a
got
face
him
mask.
underneath, maybe underneath the face mask, right on the chest. But what a nice play, good setup. So a play that we haven't seen a lot of this year is a counter play. You see that jet sweep, everything moving in one direction. Grand Valley pretty much sticks with that play. This time, the running back on that job, Kirk Spencer, plants his left foot and they run a counter. A really nice play, nice developing play for Grand Valley.
Grand Valley's going to go back in the same direction with Marty Carter. You just got to put your head down and take what they give you on that one, because Grand Valley lined it up with three wideouts to the top, came back to the boundary side, and just nothing happening. And it's interesting, Bob. They haven't been able to get the outside game going, but Grand Valley has blocked some runs up the middle pretty well this year. But that look that you used to see a lot from Grand Valley, the old Chuck Martin stretch play, is almost a thing of the past now.
Well, one of the things they ran with Chuck was that quarterback draw with Colin Finnerty, and that talking with Coach Mitchell at the beginning of the year, he said that they were going to run Bart Williams a lot more than what we saw in the years past with Heath Parling, and we really haven't seen a lot of that this year.
Grand Valley looking to throw over the middle. That's going to be interference. Oh, there was a hit. That knocked down the receiver, and nobody wanted to throw the play.
We're going to get a good look at this right here. This was pass interference textbook.
All day long.
Boom, right there before the ball
it's a
even got
shove,
there.
and the umpire is just right there looking at it and doesn't throw the flag. Wow.
Big break for Michigan Tech right there. Grand Valley's going to have to regroup right now and put something together to try to put this ball in the end zone, because it is 3rd and goal.
We've been feeling a little bit sorry for Michigan Tech, not getting the benefit of the doubt, but things have evened up in the last 2 plays. The last 3 plays, maybe. The previous run by Spencer and then that one. You know Tech's coming with pressure here. This is going to be a test for Bart Williams. Can he get rid of it? Bubble screen in the middle. Bean inside.
Big
Touchdown.
Bean. Really well developed play right there, and a great call. They brought the heat man-to-man on the outside. Great blocking on the perimeter by the wide receivers, and the offensive line releases and gets enough chip on the outside for the big Brandon Bean to get in the end zone. Great view right there. What a great play. Great call, great execution.
Joel Skipper on for the extra point. Try Beans having a big night receiving. Grand Valley's hit several big pass plays early on. The snap is down. The kick from Joel Skipper, as always, up and through. We'll take a break. Grand Valley moving on top for the first time tonight here on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
learn something every single day at Grand Valley State University. About who you are and who you can become. About where you've been and where you're going. About your goals and how to accomplish them. At the end of the day, you know what you want from life. Find it within yourself. Find it within Grand Valley State University.
Well, some excitement here tonight as Grand Valley moves on top by the score of 14-7. What a day for football in our state. If you are elsewhere and you happen to see the finish of that Michigan State-Michigan game,
we just did.
That was something that Hollywood couldn't even produce. My. It's a good kick by Skipper. High again. Grand Valley's got people coming. It looked like might have been a block from behind. Now we get the flag all the way out from midfield.
Ironically enough, right in front of the coaching staff for Grand Valley.
Let's go back and look at the drive summary. They're going to drag this one back inside the 20. Well, here's how it got started with Matt Judon, the hit, and then the recovery by Alton Voss. This is a ball to Nick Dotson. How does he come up with that one? Boy, kept his eyes on the prize there. Grand Valley then running successfully with Spencer. That probably should have been a face mask there against Michigan Tech. And then the little bubble screen. And again, not great mechanics by the quarterback, Bob. Kind of falling backwards, backpedaling, but felt the pressure, had to get rid of it. You don't have a lot of time down there near the goal line to make it happen. And where is this one going to start? It's going to bring the ball all the way back to the 11-yard line. It was the gunner on the outside that was the guy that was blocked in the back. And how nobody saw that except for the guy at midfield, I can't really fully understand. But better late than never.
Grand Valley's defense looking for some help from their crowd, for some noise, and a smaller crowd than Grand Valley's used to in the student section, but they're making enough noise, and the defense does a nice job right there stopping that quarterback draw.
That's Cowie running for a couple of yards, but Grand Valley getting a good push, and one of the guys who has been in there tonight somewhat, I can't see all the numbers right now, and these guys are all about a mile wide, but Mark Rosenquist has been trading at that position with Sonny Haskins this year. I think he is in there right now. 3 wide to the top, man in motion. Let's see if Grand Valley can get a player who can make a play here, and they're going to have to do it, and they, well, come close, I guess. They're going to stop this one right at the 20-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and short, but again, that seems to be almost a little bit of a continuing problem, Bob, making a play there. They just either are not quick enough or they're not physical enough. I think it's a little bit of both.
I think Grand Valley's got to do a little bit better job at disguising up their defense, switching up some things on the outside. One of the ways to stop that bubble screen is to take your guys off of the pressure on the outside when that inside guy is released and just switch him to the inside and move your coverage guy to the outside. There's just some things you can do defensively to switch some things up so they keep Michigan Tech on a little bit of an edge.
Cowie trying to run for it. I don't know if he got there. No, he's going to be stopped at the 21. It'll be 4th down.
Decision time for Michigan Tech.
Yeah, I think they got to run the punter out there right now. Tom Curley wants to see where they're going to spot it, but there's no way he's going to take a chance at this point of the field. I mean, put yourself in. They're going to measure, but in the chain gang, you can't really tell where those guys are. They're a little bit back off the field now. I think he's a good foot. Maybe even more than that short.
Generous spot as well. I thought he was right at the 20.
I thought he was at the 22, but I think Tech is just buying a little bit of time. I can't believe he'd go for it here because if something bad happens, it's closer to a yard, really. No, it's not that.
Half yard.
That's a sandwich shop foot long indication right there, and it's more like a party sub short of the 1st down. And Tech will indeed kick it away, and Matt Williams will try it on. Here's an element of Grand Valley's game that's been great this year. Matt Williams, he's able to run with it when he catches it, which is what you look for in a return guy. But what he does so well is that he catches tough balls. Even if he has to fair catch them, he does not let that ball bounce very often. Talked to Matt Mitchell this week about that. He said it's really part of the computation that comes into play when they determine how far they think an opposing team can punt it. And they put Williams more often than not in a good position. Grand Valley's got 10 guys up front. I don't think they're looking to block it here necessarily. They're just want to be alert to the possibility of something untoward. This ball is catchable for Matt Williams. He's going to have a chance to run. No, he fair caught it at the 42. I think that was preconceived that he was going to not have anybody back there with him. It's good field position, though, for the Lakers here with 10:06 left in the half.
Yeah, you talk about that preconceived. When Grand Valley's up with 10 men up in the front with a defensive stand, they're not going to do a lot of blocking right there. So they basically just want your punt returner to catch the ball, make sure your front 10 avoid any big plays with a fake punt.
We saw Coach Mitchell earlier this week, and he had some interesting things to say about the kind of coaching he does with Matt Williams. He says he wants his return guy to be very aggressive early in the game. Later in the game, it becomes more situational.
More possessional, yeah, exactly.
Well, Grand Valley gummed that up a little bit, and that is a false start. I thought somebody on the left side might have been rocking back there a little bit. I didn't hear. Who did they call, Bob?
Didn't hear the number. I don't know. I saw Matt Williams on the outside throwing his hand down. I'm not sure if he was in frustration with his teammate or himself, but did not catch exactly who jumped. But again, shooting yourself in the foot, 1st and 15, not the way you want to start a drive when you're that close to midfield.
Matt Williams is the guy who gets up closest to the line of scrimmage, though, too, as well from his position. Now Grand Valley looking to go over the top. They've got time, and it is indeed Matt Williams. A first down catch or something very close to it. I believe he's got the first down in Tech territory at the 47-yard line. So if he were the guilty party the last time, he makes his amends.
Take a look at Bart's head right there. What a mature play that was. He was waiting for his receiver to come open, didn't see it, looked out to the flat, knew he had a guy, but there was pressure on him. Took another look downfield before the pressure came and delivered a quick, good ball.
Sometimes, Bob, you think that a quarterback, by looking off the original receiver, can get his guy a little bit of space. Then the defender starts to back off, and he goes right back to the guy that he wanted in the first place. This is a nice first down run for about 9 inside the 40. That's a great push there for the Lakers. Moving the ball well on the ground, and Spencer is starting to move a little bit better after a little bit of a suspect start.
Coach Mitchell really happy right down on the sidelines right now with the way that they're running the football. Grand Valley has struggled most of the year running the football. Opened it up a little bit last week, but doing a great job tonight establishing the run. Grand Valley, most teams, but Grand Valley especially, when they can balance the run and the pass, look out.
One of the guys who's in there playing tonight, this is Spencer on the quick hitter there. Nice timing on that particular play. Another first down. One of the guys that's in there on the offensive line is Ben Walling. And Matt Mitchell talked a little bit about the job that he's been doing, an unheralded player, a freshman from Independence, Kentucky, 6'5", 288.
He is one of the biggest guys on this team. I had a chance to meet with his dad earlier tonight, from Kentucky, and just so proud of his son stepping in and just doing a great job.
Williams with time, looking late, ball out there, caught. What a play made on that one again by Matt Williams at the 10-yard line.
That's the hands of the receiver, Matt Williams, that you love to see, extending those arms out, catching the ball way away from his body before the contact comes from the corner. Great route, great timing, and a great delivery by Bart.
We were talking, I think last week, Bob, when you were gone, about Matt Williams. This guy is just an uncanny athlete. He reminds me of one of those ultimate sports people, or maybe like a surfer, that he doesn't really look like, when you see him walking down the street, you wouldn't say that's a football player,
right.
But
the long hair doesn't help, but he's
just an adrenaline junkie. He plays in baseball, he's the closer, he plays DH, he's a punt return guy, the holder, does a lot of different things well, and that's a nice play made out on the edge by Brett Gervais for Michigan Tech, as Spencer goes for a little bit of a loss there on that first down carry. And again, that's not what you want if you're Grand Valley. Grand Valley maybe just has to get away from trying to run wide right now, because they haven't really done it well. And they back up here in the red zone, which is not what you want to put on your quarterback here.
Well, especially down in the red zone, those linebackers and those ends love to fly to the football. And if you can put a counter action in, which they did earlier, that was very, very successful, that'll get the linebackers flowing one way, allow your blockers to get up to that second level and make some plays. Grand Valley's got to use a little bit more misdirection.
Well, Bart Williams is going to fall on that one. He tried to hand it off to Carter, I believe that was, and it was not a good connection at all. And Grand Valley's lucky to get it back. Was that actually Spencer?
It was.
And Spencer thought he was never going to get there, and that's not good either. So now we're going to see some pressure coming from the Huskies here. Grand Valley is in a goal-to-go situation here with the ball at the 17. So what do you like here, Bob? Who are you going to go to here? 15, who's down here maybe in single coverage against a short guy. This might be the up ball to Jamie Potts. No, they're going the other way. This is a ball toward Bean, a little bump. I think that's a good no call there. It's not really catchable, and it just wasn't going to be a completion. So Grand Valley be forced to try for the field goal.
The defensive back does a nice job of cutting off the route. No bump like that we saw in the pass interference, what we thought earlier in the previous drive. Just a nice job of cutting off the route. Good defensive play right there. Grand Valley just kind of stepping on their own toes there.
Yeah, not a good start when you run and lose yardage on first down. Here is Skipper. The field goal try will be from 34. He's been quite good this year, Joel Skipper. The snap is down, the kick is up, and the kick is right straight through. He has not missed this season.
9 for 9.
Lakers up by 10. 6:32 to go until halftime here on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
How's it going? Nice to meet you guys. I have these 2 laptops. We're going to each download a TV show. I'm going to download it on Xfinity, and you guys are going to download it with AT&T Uverse, and we're going to see who goes faster. Go.
Well, this is a no-brainer so far.
How's AT&T doing?
Struggling.
I'm ready to go. We'll wait for you guys.
Looks like we're going to be waiting for a while.
Don't let Uverse slow you down. Upgrade to an Xfinity X1 Triple Play from Comcast and save when you bundle. See for yourself. Call 1-800-XFINITY or visit Comcast.com today.
Special teams, a big part of the Lakers' success here in 2015, and this guy has been a huge part of it. Joel Skipper, another 2-sport athlete, one of 3 baseball players on the squad. Just been great, and he's been good on kickoffs, and he kicks the ball quite high and gives his team a chance to get down there and take it. Whoa, this could be interesting. Tech is on the ball at the 6-yard line. My, you don't see a ball usually go that far after a fumble. And what was it that Matt Mitchell said to us this week? When talking about Matt Williams, he goes, punts are hard to catch. He goes, anybody can catch a kickoff.
That's exactly what he said.
And
not there, though.
No, I don't know what happened there. It wasn't an especially tough ball, but I think what the return man might have been thinking was, if I back up into the end zone, you know, is it going to be a touchback, or you could just get out of the way? But
right through his legs, right off his thigh and knee, right into the 6-yard line.
Yeah, that was James Henderson, who was able to right the ship. So it just goes down as a lousy return then for Michigan Tech. You usually expect to get at least to the 20. Here is Cowie on first down, rolling right. Grand Valley's got better coverage this time. The ball thrown. That might be out of bounds. Now it's going to be a completion.
Great route, great play, great design. They've max protection right here. You'll see a 1-man route right here to the outside. The only guy in the route does a nice job of turning the defensive back. Now, again, can't make out the number, but does a nice job of running that. I think it was Jacob Studdard on the outside. Got turned around a little bit.
I'd like to see that one again. It looked like he should have been able to get the feet down. I was wondering if that inbound foot came up just before he made the catch here, but it is a first down for Tech. Throwing again. Grand Valley gets some people out there on the big guy on the outside. That's a catch for short yardage to Winky.
Trey Walton does a nice job of getting low. Trey Walton's going to have to stay low on Winky, the big fella, but does a nice job of getting to his feet, keeping that to a short gain.
4-yard gain.
One of the things Michigan Tech can't do is fall too far behind. They haven't fallen behind in any of their games because they don't have the offensive juggernaut or powerhouse to be able to put up some quick points. They're, like we talked about all day, a methodical team that loves to burn clock. And right now, Grand Valley, if they can hold them here, is going to put themselves in good position to force them to make plays that they're not used to making.
Quarterback draw again, and Grand Valley puts a lick on Cowie. I know that Tom Curley likes that play, and he's got a big guy out there, but man, you go to that well too many times, and your quarterback starts to maybe lose his touch a little bit in the passing game.
Not only that, but a little bit hesitant in the running game, like you saw right there. It didn't look like he was running as hard as he did, like he did on that first play. The second play from line of scrimmage tonight, when they ran that quarterback draw, when he fouled his big fella and gained 7-8 yards.
I think he actually tripped on his own lineman that time. Grand Valley looking to make a play. Can they get him? They don't immediately, but they do stop him in the end at the 31-yard line, forcing another punt situation here for the Huskies.
You said it earlier about the quarterback right there being a little bit hesitant in his passing game. Right there, Cowie had plenty of time, and he looked like he pulled that down really, really quick and wanted to run a little bit earlier than he should have, thinking he might have had some room. Grand Valley does a great job of closing, as you see right there, forcing a 4th down in a punt situation for the Huskies.
Bob, I think that was Schlosser who made that play, and Alton Voss closing as well. And Matt Mitchell had great words about Colin Schlosser this week when we talked to him. He said, I consider him a starter, and he said flat out, he goes, he's a great player.
Great football player.
Low snap. Matt Williams with a chance here to grab this one. Took his eye off the ball a little bit. Now where's he going to go with it? He's waiting. Now he makes something out of it and got tackled right around the face
there
mask.
It is right there.
That is just so unnecessary for Michigan Tech, and we know that Tech has got a lot of good students and a lot of smart players, but that was not a Phi Beta Kappa play right there, and it's going to cost Tech some big yardage. Tom Curley's not happy about it, but what can you say? This is just a wrap up right around the mask and never let go, really.
Trying to figure out what the discussion's all about, whether or not it was a face mask. Matt Williams, as we saw right there, coming up saying an obvious face mask. We'll get the call right here. Maybe they were just trying to determine whether or not it was a 15 or 5-yarder.
First down, Grand Valley.
No, I think the pro game has got that right now. They've done away with the 5-yard face mask, haven't they, in the NFL?
Look at that.
That is an egregious one. And the guy that got him that time for Michigan Tech,
Kuapala.
Yep. He's one of their better players on defense. He's a guy that so it's great field position. Another good play by Matt Williams. Caught it, was in his element, made a nice return and got the penalty. Here's a ball right out again to Matt Williams, who's got good yardage. Ooh, he almost bounced up. He ran out of the sideline there. You know what he was thinking. It's a completion down to the 33, and he just seems to be almost a clone of Jamie Potts in that he always gets himself open and he almost always catches it, though he did drop one early tonight.
Oh, great delivery here on the outside by Bart Williams. You see that strength of the arm getting to the outside. That's a long throw for a quarterback to make, and he delivers it quickly.
Bob, he was never down, by the way.
Right.
When you look at that replay, he just ran out of real estate. Here's Marty Carter for Grand Valley.
There's
Marty Carter, nice move inside the 25-yard line, close to another Laker first down. A pickup of almost 10, and this is a guy who can extract a price on people that he's running against because he is strong.
Take a look at this play again, the stretch play. Nothing to the outside, as the outside was taken away by number 39, Cody Goldsworthy. But he right away when he got that ball, he's looking north and south, looking for that hole. And that's the way you got to run that play. You got to put your foot in the ground and get upfield as soon as you can.
Let's see if they go back to Marty here in a second and short situation. Now they're going to try to throw it. They bubble it to Brandon Bean, and boy, there's going to be
Ball's
a
on
lot
the
of,
ground.
oh boy, and Tech's got it back in again.
Well, that's a mistake right there by Brandon Bean. He needs to continue on the inside where the blocker was taking it away from him. Michigan Tech's going to come up with the ball, flag on the play.
Yeah, there was
going to be after the possession.
I think this is going to go against Grand Valley as well, in my estimation. But Grand Valley, let's be honest about it, too clever by half there. Second down in inches. Carter has just bulled his way down there. And I know that you want to keep people guessing, but to throw it all the way on the flat like that when you need just 6 inches in that situation, I think Grand Valley would probably prefer that they hadn't done that. Let's see what the call is here.
A catch, fumble, returned by Michigan Tech. Will be Michigan Tech ball, first down.
And I wonder what the flag was all about. Nobody really seemed to feel any need to explain this to us. Now, there's nothing wrong with it. They just don't get the block, and the guy who really is responsible for the play there in some respects for Grand Valley, I think that was Ben Hutchins.
Well, Terrell Dorsey
who didn't make the block outside, yeah.
But I disagree. I think he had a decent block and had his man shielded to the outside, and Brandon Bean needs to continue that and take it inside where he had plenty of room. Instead, he plants his foot, tries to get to the outside where the block is, and in the process fumbles the ball. I think that one's on Brandon.
Cowie just throws one up for grabs. McKissick was the closest one to it. They finally got some pressure on the quarterback, and that ball intended to Andrew Clark, but McKissick played him well that time, and if anybody was going to catch that pass, it was going to be him.
Well, Brandon Cowie on his game early in the game so far, the last couple of drives, really hasn't had a really good rhythm passing the ball. right there, a little bit of a throw that he's not accustomed to throwing, that 15 to 20-yard pass. He's really more adept at throwing the shorter, more conservative routes.
More Tech is just starting to throw it, and this is intercepted by the Lakers. Talley made a good drop. There was a little bit, I kept my eyes on the quarterback because he got a little bit of a bump late, but Talley, that's what you like to see from a linebacker, dropping back far enough to make himself available on that play.
Great coverage by Grand Valley, dropping into the route. I don't know if Michigan Tech has gone away from their short passing game and trying, with 2 minutes left, trying to push the ball down the field. And like I said earlier, getting out of what they do best. But right there, that ball was thrown right to Talley.
He never saw him. He went back late to this side, and he fires, and it's just one of those inexplicable things that you see in football, Bob, where a quarterback looks right through a guy who is clearly in his path. And now Grand Valley, which made the big blunder moments ago, may have a chance to get a 3-score lead here going to the intermission.
I think you're right, though. Exactly. Just didn't see him for whatever reason. Got caught in the glare or whatever it was, but just threw it right at him.
This is a ball out on the outside, a first down catch. I think it's Bean out there again. That's actually Erston Smith who's got that one.
Erston does a nice job with his route, but not really a big fan of the way he caught that ball up against his chest right there, and the ball bounced a little bit. You got to extend those hands, catch that ball with big hands, young fella.
You can't deaden that ball at all if it comes into your pads, and any kind of a jostle from behind is going to just knock it away from you. Let's see if Grand Valley on first down gives it to Carter. They do. He's got a couple.
I really like the way Martavius is running the ball, though. As soon as he catches that ball, he's looking upfield, trying to find out when to plant that foot to get upfield. And right there, if he tries to extend that out like he did early in the game, he's going to get tackled for a loss. Right there, a nice 2-3 yard gain.
Kamenberg Morales, 98, one of the people on the stop. Big interior line player for Michigan Tech. Bart Williams wants his call coming in a little bit quicker. We're down inside 2 minutes. Grand Valley's got time, but by the same token, you don't want to dawdle here because you can never predict when a sack or a loss might occur.
Grand Valley also has 2 timeouts left they can utilize.
Grand Valley's going back to Marty Carter. Touchdown. Nice. Beautiful, strong running there, and nicely set up with 3 wide to this side. I don't think anybody from Tech was looking for a run there in the dying moments of the first half.
I think you're right. I think also the sudden change right there, Grand Valley taking advantage of that turnover coming out. The defense for Michigan Tech, for whatever reason, just wasn't prepared for that sudden change. That's a big thing in football. When your defense could come out on a sudden change situation and get a 3 and out, that's almost like a turnover there. Michigan Tech not up to the task in stopping Grand Valley.
The snap is down. Matt Williams puts it down, and Joel Skipper knocks it through. So with 96 seconds left, it's 96 cheers for the visitors. Look at that block in there. Deep into the second level before anybody laid a glove on him, and you're not going to bring down Marty Carter with an arm tackle.
Correct, I have a life mate. Is that consequential?
With whom are you communicating?
Jake from Planet State Farm.
Jake from Planet State Farm at 0300 hours. State your identity.
It is Jake from Planet State Farm, home of Discount Double Check.
Describe your apparel, Jake from Planet State Farm.
Khakis.
Khakis. Explain.
A dull earthly garment covering male extremities.
Sounds most appropriate.
Save mass quantities, even at 0300 hours. Get to a better state.
You learn something every single day at Grand Valley State University about who you are and who you can become, about where you've been and where you're going, about your goals and how to accomplish them. At the end of the day, you know what you want from life. Find it within yourself. Find it within Grand Valley State University.
Well, it's turned into a pretty entertaining football game for fans of the home side. Grand Valley with 24 unanswered points here. Williams has gotten it going. Marty Carter's given the Lakers a boost, and Grand Valley now with that important 3-score lead. Skipper high, a little bit shorter this time, and a different return man for Michigan Tech.
Oh, another break in the back.
Yeah, they didn't whistle this one. That's a fairly decent return out over the 30, and the man that did it for Michigan Tech was Brandon Oha. Let's take a look at how that last drive started. It was the interception thrown right into the grill of Talley. And then Erston Smith, despite a little bobble, is able to keep that one out of the clutches of Jalen Williams-Boone, and then Marty Carter for the score. And statistically, we're getting a look at some of the numbers right now, Bob, and I'm not sure what jumps out at us from this one, but Bart Williams enjoying another good game, 12 of 18 for over 200. Tech is not going to go quietly.
Boom!
Big knock at the 40. And
Marquez Goldman,
who's not a big guy.
Not at all.
He's looking bigger tonight for some reason. That's a pickup of about 6, and he laid the lumber to David Walter, who's had a lot of good catches tonight.
It's a big kid. I'm going back to the huddle if I'm Walter saying, hey, Cowie, quit hanging me out like that. Holy smokes.
Well, this is interesting. If Grand Valley can make a play, and they might make one right here, and down goes the quarterback, and I think it was Voss that got to him that time. No, is that from the outside? Well, let's see, who is that? It's Matt Judon. Why did I ever think otherwise?
No, it was DeAndre.
Oh, okay, 5. There we go.
Not only are the jerseys hard to see, but when you scrunch up the jersey, it makes it even more difficult, DeAndre. But great job. A nice coverage sack for Grand Valley. Nothing open on the outside. Cowie not looking for somewhere to go. Grand Valley doing a great job being disciplined in their rush lanes. Nowhere to go. DeAndre get him from the backside.
Well, DeAndre is a guy who gets some push. It's harder to make sacks when you're playing interior, though, Bob, because you're going to get chipped probably by somebody. You almost always have to get around 2 guys. A guy like Matt Judon, sometimes he'll get one-on-one, and he'll beat somebody with a speed rush, or he'll make a quick move inside. When you've got a defensive tackle making sacks, he's doing something extremely well.
He's a good one, too. And like we said earlier, just a very athletic guy. It might have been a stunt to the outside, bringing Matt Judon underneath, which allowed DeAndre Hogan to the outside, but does a nice job of staying with that play. Big play for Grand Valley. Puts Michigan Tech in a 3rd and long situation, something they're not accustomed or comfortable with.
Well, they don't have the real speed guy, so Grand Valley can just pin the ears back here and figure that this kid's not going to beat him over the top. They're trying to run away from Judon. It didn't work.
Not going to happen.
Judon at the 20-yard line with a sack.
Kevin Miller trying to cut the Matt Judon, the defensive end. Matt Judon just way too athletic. You better stay up on Matt Judon. You cannot cut that kid. Grand Valley doing a great job utilizing their timeout right now. They're going to get the ball in decent field position.
Well, it's kind of interesting here. They go after Judon, and he just hurdles over the back. And if you're Kevin Miller, you're just going, uh-oh. I didn't do that right. And Judon now is in double figures on the season for sacks or tackles for a loss.
He's in the top 5 in the nation, leads the GLIAC in sacks, and there's another one for the young man.
Well, if you're Michigan Tech here, you have to really be careful, because if you mishandle it, there's going to be time for Grand Valley. It's important for the punter, Ryan Van Gotham, to get one and knock it out. I think Grand Valley's going to try to push here a little bit. Will they come right up the middle? Maybe they've seen something in the film session. I don't think Grand Valley is going to take this one lightly. They're coming after him. It's a good kick. Williams will probably fair catch this one. He's looking to do just that at the 35-yard line. Great kick under pressure for Van Gotham. Grand Valley will probably just take a lay down here in the final seconds and go to the locker room with an impressive 17-point lead. Pretty good considering the way this one started. A bad opening drive for the Lakers and an 80-yard touchdown drive for the Huskies to take an early 7-0 lead in this contest.
Great adjustments by Coach Mitchell and their staff, making Michigan Tech very uncomfortable offensively, making Brandon Cowie very uncomfortable in the pocket. Like you said, Grand Valley is going to settle for the knee right now going into the half at 24-7.
Bart Williams just sits down. Do they do the quick reset? Yeah, they get the clock to 40 and the clock continues to run. So I think it's pretty much established right now that Grand Valley does not have to snap it again. The play clock has gone off. Grand Valley's been sent to a neutral corner. It's like a boxing match here. The referee just said, you guys over there, they're going to go off, and then we're going to get on with this. So it's a great first half of action for the Lakers. Bart Williams back on his game. Carter running well in a couple of turnovers, and Grand Valley out on top at the intermission. It's 24-7. We're going to come back with some of the halftime festivities, talk with Grand Valley Athletic Director Tim Selgo. We'll do all that when we return here on Xfinity and the Grand Valley Sports Network.
At Metro Health, we don't see patients, we see people. And when it comes to their health care, there's one thing we're all working toward: helping them feel better. Better summers, better dances, better retirements, and better roads ahead. This is what we want for every person we see every day. Better. Metro Health. Better all around.
We need to replace the microwave cooking device.
Oh, this will cost mass quantities. Commence the jingle.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, Bildar, how can I help?
Brent Allen, did we receive savings from our discount double check?
Oh, yeah, a bunch.
This pleases me.
Wait, we're in space. I thought you guys were from France.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there in France. See? France.
Wait.
Save mass quantities with a State Farm discount double check.
And lastly, Uverse gives you a whole bunch of on-demand TV shows and movies. Let's get started.
Well, how many is a whole bunch? As many as Xfinity?
I swear you're gonna love it.
That didn't really answer my question.
Over 5,000 on demand.
Well, Xfinity On Demand gives us over 30,000.
We'll set it up for you.
Don't settle for Uverse. Get over 5 times more on-demand TV shows and movies on TV with Xfinity from Comcast.
It's intermission here tonight in Allendale, Michigan. On the Grand Valley Sports Network, it's the Lakers leading previously undefeated, or currently, I guess I should say, undefeated Michigan Tech by the score of 24-7. Big cheer on the field right now. A fan just knocked one through the uprights there to win a prize with the hood on to boot. Let's take a look at the stats in the first half. Grand Valley churned out 15 first downs. The total yardage, a big edge for the Lakers, 269 yards. A couple of turnovers for Tech. Grand Valley had one, could have had another. That ball early on from Williams that was dropped might have been a difference maker for Tom Curley's crew. But right now the Lakers are comfortable and getting stronger as the game goes on. They lead it by the score of 24-7. And I'm joined up here in our position in the booth by Grand Valley Athletic Director Tim Selgo, who joins us right now. And we've got back-to-back football for the first time coming up. We'll slide over here a little bit, Tim, so we can both get in the picture here. I'm going to come your way a bit. They're telling me in the truck.
Don't want to fall off.
No, we don't. We used to go backwards and fall off, but we're staying in our position right now. Michigan Tech tonight, Findlay next week for homecoming, an improved Findlay team. It's going to be a heck of a game. But also one of the highlights of homecoming every year is the Hall of Fame dinner with some new inductees and a lot of great athletes, many of whom with names that people will remember from the very recent past here at Grand Valley.
Well, it is a great weekend. It's homecoming. We hope all of our alums will come back and see our beautiful campus, of course. But, yes, on Friday night we have our annual Irwin Dinner, named after Charles Irwin, the first athletic director at Grand Valley. And we'll have a great lineup of Hall of Fame inductees. First of all, we will be inducting Cullen Finnerty posthumously, our former great quarterback. His wife Jen and his father Tim and their families will be here to recognize and accept on Cullen's behalf. So we're really looking forward to that. And then we also have Nate Peck. Nate was our first best men's distance runner under Jerry Baltus of the long line of great runners he's had. Nate was one of the first about 12, 13 years ago, and Nate will be going in the Hall of Fame, as well as two young ladies that participated about the same time, are great friends, but different sports. Allison Riley was our great libero, All-American libero for 2 years, and on our national championship volleyball team in 2005. And Erica Rieskamp-Wallace. Erica was on our women's basketball national championship team in 2006, works at Grand Valley right now in our financial aid office, and is a president of our Women's Basketball Alumni Association. We will also be inducting Katie Taffler, who you remember was our great scorer in women's soccer, and I think Katie was from Canada. She's now a doctor serving her residency, and it'd be great to have Katie back. She was our first great scorer in women's soccer. And then last, and certainly not least, Chuck Martin, our former head football coach, now the head coach at Miami University. We're very fortunate. Chuck's team will play at Western Michigan on Saturday, so Chuck will be able to be at the dinner Friday night. It's at 7 o'clock. It's in the Kirchhoff Center, and you can still get tickets and join us for $40. It's a great evening. It's just a special evening, special feeling for everybody associated with Laker Athletics, and you can call the Athletics office at 331-8800 and get your ticket. Going to be a great night.
Well, it's great to see somebody like Katie Taffler, who was not only a great standout in soccer, but academically she won many parallel honors, I guess you'd say, for what she did at Grand Valley. Her name was all over NCAA literature at the time for what she had done, and it's great to see that she has gone on. And really, if we could, Tim, let's talk a little bit. We've talked about Katie Taffler coming from Canada. We've had a lot of great international athletes. We continue to do so now, some sports more than others. I think on the men's tennis team right now, we've got a couple of players from Europe, one from Australia. But Canada, in particular, the province of Ontario, has been very good for Grand Valley. We've had so many good players in all sports, including football, in recent years.
Yeah, certainly we've gotten a lot of great athletes come here from Canada. Dave Deaney, our former women's soccer coach, was originally from Canada. He had a little pipeline going with Katie Taffler and Nasturzio and Megan Robinson, some great players out of there. But we've got some great ones. Football, Josh Burke was from Windsor. Now, he played at Orchard Lake St. Mary's, but he was truly Canadian, now having a great career in the Canadian Football League. Josh is still playing as an offensive tackle in the Canadian Football League. But many of our other sports, you mentioned tennis, we have some international kids. Swimming and diving, we've got quite a few of them. I'll bet we have over 10 now from various countries. And it's really cool to have in your program. These kids are usually great students, and they bring an international flavor to your campus, to your student-athlete body. And the beauty of it is we're the only country in the world that has a system of playing sports along with education. These kids come from Europe or other countries. Canada has college sports, but Europe, they don't have that. And these kids can come over here, get a great education, and compete in college sports. So it's really a neat thing, and we're fortunate that we have some wonderful kids from across the sea that are here at Grand Valley.
We talk a lot of times, Tim, to athletes who come here from foreign countries, and I'm always interested how somebody from Western Australia gets to Grand Valley. And not surprisingly, I guess the answer is so much of the information that's passed back and forth is done online. Kids submit videos to coaches who look at them, and invariably they make some sort of connection between people that they know, and it happens. But it's something that a lot of young people, or the parents of young people who are watching tonight, should realize. You can be proactive in the recruiting process yourself. Let coaches and schools know, especially here at Grand Valley, what you can do, and submit stuff. There are even forms that we have online, I think, at Grand Valley that for prospective athletes to make the first contact. Just don't sit back and wait for somebody to come after you.
In today's world with video, everybody videos everything. And you can send video. We get YouTube videos all the time of prospects all over the country in all sports. And I would encourage people to do that. Our coaches want to see them play, so they'll want to see video. Now, oftentimes with international kids, you're only going to get video because chances are you aren't going to be able to get them to make a visit to your campus. With the exception, for example, Mark Rosenquist, who is from Sweden. Mark came over and did play 1 year of high school ball in the States, then went to a junior college, and now we have him on the football team. You don't get many Northern Europeans playing college football time, but we got one, and Mark's doing a great job for us. Big 96 there on the defensive line. But fans, we give video all the time, and our coaches like that, and that's the beauty of modern technology.
Well, we are drawing down on the end of this week, but we get back at it tomorrow here, Northern Michigan in town for a soccer match at noon. And then let's talk next week. It's Findlay coming to town, a very much improved team from Ohio, part of the conference here, comes in for a big ball game, but a lot of festivities next week for homecoming.
Next week is real big, and you mentioned tomorrow at noon, our women's soccer team will honor our seniors tomorrow against Northern Michigan. It's the last weekend game that we have, and our parents will be in town, so our women's soccer team is, of course, as you see them here, just doing a fantastic job. After that first game loss, they've run the table since then and picking up steam. Next weekend, we have volleyball at home at 7 o'clock on Friday, 4 o'clock on Saturday, and then, of course, the homecoming football game against the University of Findlay at 7 o'clock here in Lubbers Stadium. Findlay is very explosive offensively. They're a much improved team, and it'll be an outstanding game. And let's hope the Lakers can keep improving, keep working, and be ready for that. But again, it's noon tomorrow. come out and watch this women's soccer team because, as you know, because you're there and I'm there, they are absolutely wonderful to watch. They are really, really fun to watch play soccer. You'll learn about soccer if you come out and watch the Lakers soccer team play.
Boy, and we're seeing some of the 7 goals that were knocked in yesterday for Grand Valley in that game against Michigan Tech. And of course, we talk about Marty Corby, the player of the year last year, having a better season this year. We've seen a lot of things at Grand Valley. I don't think we've ever seen anybody who might do what she does this year. She could be the player of the year nationally 2 years in a row.
It's certainly possible, and one of the things that I love about Marty is, as a junior now, you can see her leadership is getting better and better. She's starting to be a leader out there on the field. You know, her presence in the middle and actually all over that field is phenomenal, and you can feel it, and you know the other teams worry about her all the time, but it's her leadership that she's growing at, and if she can keep growing and getting better as a leader, because we know she's just a fantastic player. She is, in our books, player of the year. We want her with us, no question about it.
Tim Selgo is the athletic director here at Grand Valley State University. The football team from Grand Valley leading 24-7, and we'll send you out here as we head to a break with a little bit of the band. We see some different people, different uniforms. These are all from different schools around the state in different places, and it's great to see. It's probably about 300 to 400 strong out there right now, entertaining here at halftime. We'll take a short break right now. Coming back with more from Allendale here on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
I came to Grand Valley because the moment I stepped foot on this campus, I fell in love, and all the people around, they just seemed so friendly. So I was like, this is where I need to be.
When I first came to campus, it was very welcoming, a very clean campus.
I came to Grand Valley because they have a great biology department. It really made me determine that Grand Valley was the place for me.
I came to Grand Valley because of the amazing opportunities that West Michigan had to offer Grand Rapids itself. Because of the small class size, it was the one-on-one, peer-to-peer opportunities I had with my fellow students.
The moment I came in, it was an exciting place to be a part of. It's been going uphill from before I got here. It's continuing the upward trend. I really feel really blessed to be here.
I dream of working in technology and really being a big part in connecting people and empowering a lot of friendships.
I dream of being a marine biologist and focusing in marine mammals, mainly orca whales, also known as killer whales.
Action. My goals for the future include directing major motion pictures and working with some of the most creative minds on the planet in order to create movies that are unique and awe-inspiring.
I really want to become a physical therapist for our military because my Uncle Francis was killed on September 11th and they put their lives on hold and on the line to defend our country. And the thing that I can do to help them the most is to become a physical therapist and improve their quality of life to allow them to come back to their families.
I'm interested in continuing my education to work on autonomous robotics that operate in space, where we can harvest resources that we can use both in space and back here on Earth.
I really would like to find myself in some kind of position that involves working with public policy that has to do with education. And I would like that to have an international bent, to understand how to better form an educational experience for children in the U.S. And that's something I've just grown really passionate about.
One of my favorite memories from Grand Valley is when I went on a study abroad trip to Ecuador. There I got to explore the Amazon cloud rainforests, and I got to try many new things, including eating a grub. Hakuna Matata.
The first time I saw the campus, it was literally a cornfield with a road down the middle. When you think about the campus today, it's absolutely gorgeous. It's like magic has taken place.
My favorite memories at Grand Valley are working with different people and having a chance to work with people like T. Haas, and to have him actually know my name was, I think a pretty cool thing.
My favorite memory at Grand Valley has to have been making Happy Grand Rapids. I had the ability to interact with a couple of students here and film a bit of the parts on campus, and that was a really fun experience.
At Grand Valley, I've had the opportunity to improve my clinical skills and to improve my competencies in nursing leadership, advocacy, and scholarship.
I have had the opportunity to meet an amazingly diverse collection of students and faculty.
I saw this massive investment downtown and these labs that were world class. Yeah, this is a nice structure. And I thought, what a great opportunity for my students and for me. And to be honest, I wanted to be a part of that.
Grand Valley gave me the opportunity to be able to network and also help attain different internships. It really helped me be able to finish up my degree and be able to move on to a successful career.
Grand Valley has given me that community to build and empower myself and empower others and be able to accomplish anything in the world.
I feel just privileged to be able to call myself a Laker for a lifetime.
When you put your name on something, it means something. For over 140 years, Coors Banquet's been brewed in one place with pure Rocky Mountain water and the best high country barley. And someone with the name Coors still tastes our beer every week, making sure it tastes as good today as it did in 1873. That's something we're proud to put our name on. Coors, the banquet beer.
My fathead cave! My fathead cave! Oh my gosh! Yes!
That looks really good. That look good?
This is my fat head.
I'm so excited for it. The goosebumps.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome!
Do you like it?
I love it.
Students are enrolling in record numbers at Grand Valley. This fall, the campus welcomed a record number of first-year students, bringing the total number enrolled to more than 25,000, hitting a major milestone for the university. The percentage of minority students is also a record high, as is the number of international and out-of-state students.
I chose Grand Valley because it offers a great education for an affordable price.
There are also enrollment increases in engineering, health professions, nursing, and business. These increases show how the university's programs align with what students want and employers need. Grand Valley has a track record students and parents count on. It has the third best graduation rate of all public universities in the state, and nearly 85% of recent graduates are staying in Michigan to begin their careers or graduate work. For Around Grand Valley, I'm Mary Eileen Lyon.
Halftime here in Allendale, Michigan on the Grand Valley Sports Network. It's the Lakers leading undefeated Michigan Tech by the score of 24-7. This game did not start well for Grand Valley. Lakers' first drive stalled. Tech got it after a punt and promptly walked it right down the field for 80 yards and a score. And Brandon Cowie looked pretty strong in the early going, throwing and running the football. Nice ball right out here to Ian Fisher, which got Tech into the red zone, and then it was the fullback Alex Sherbino scoring. Lakers, though, came back on the next drive. Brandon Bean on a big third down play gets the first down, and then later it is a big third down catch there that got Grand Valley into a 4th and short situation, which they converted. Bean again, and then the little look to the outside got Jamie Potts in behind the defensive backs for a score. Here's a critical play right there. The hit by Matt Judon, the recovery by the Lakers. And then how about this play? 52 yards to the true freshman wide receiver, Nick Dodson. And then Grand Valley continuing to pour it on. Here's the ball that Bean took into the end zone, and the Lakers lead it 24-7. Matt Mitchell is down on the field with Bob Mitchell. Let's enjoy hearing from them right now.
All right, fans, it's time to...
Coach, let's talk about your defense first. They gave up a big drive to start the game, 80 yards, very sustained drive. What changes did you make to stop in the second half?
Well, I think the biggest thing, we did a better job fitting up the run. We had a little bit of a run issue, and we kind of got that handled on the sideline. And then 2 big turnovers, really big turnover by Matt Judon, and David Talley drops underneath a route, which they're kind of hitting us on the outside, not much in the middle, so we widened our coverage. And we made some adjustments by our defensive staff. I think the key is our defense, second half, our D-line's got to go. I mean, pressure, and then obviously not giving up a lot of big plays.
Offensively, it looks like Bart Williams settled in. You guys are establishing the run game a little bit more. What do you think in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, obviously not turning the ball over. We got to make some adjustments to our run game. We hit one with Marty down there for a touchdown, but we got to run the ball more effectively, especially with the 3-score lead. But I've been extremely impressed with Bart Williams. He got hit on the one pick they dropped. And really, other than that, he's played really well. And we just got to continue to protect him. That's the key.
You guys have come out in the third quarter, the last 2 games, and really done well, both sides of the ball. What's the success for that?
Well, I mean, let's talk about in their locker room. Like, we have to be aggressive. We have to be aggressive offensively play calling, aggressive on our defense, especially our defensive line. And we can't be comfortable right now. And that's what we've talked about a lot. So just got to keep attacking, attack, aggressive play.
Good luck in the second half, Coach. Back to you, Tom.
Okay, thank you, Bob, and thank you, Matt Mitchell. The Lakers comfortable at the moment, but still a long way to go. But that guy has been a force again. Number 9 in white, Matt Judon. A huge sack late in the first half. A hit early for a sack, a fumble recovery. And Bart Williams, well, things going pretty well for him as well. You heard Coach Mitchell talking about the fact that he threw a ball that absolutely should have been intercepted early on. It wasn't. And after that, he got going pretty well. Over 200 yards passing, a couple of touchdowns. He had the 52-yarder to Dodson, but he spread it around. Williams, Potts, and Brandon Bean have all made big plays in this ball game, including the aforementioned Nick Dodson. So Grand Valley spreading it around a little bit. Martavius Carter has been able to give Kirk Spencer a little bit of a breather in the running game, and he has a touchdown run of his own, an 18-yarder. Skipper's been good again, another field goal for Joel. And things are going well. A couple of minutes away from the start of second half action here tonight on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
You learn something every single day at Grand Valley State University about who you are and who you can become, about where you've been and where you're going, about your goals and how to accomplish them. At the end of the day, you know what you want from life. Find it within yourself. Find it within Grand Valley State University.
Yeah, the fans getting settled back into their seats. Bob Mitchell has just gotten back into his after talking to the head coach, and Grand Valley will kick it away here to start half number 2. We talked about Brandon Cowie, the quarterback for Michigan Tech, coming into this game throwing 72% completions. At one point in the first half, Bobby was 13 of 15. Actually, 14 of 15 if you talk about the one that he threw to David Talley. That doesn't really help his stats all that much. But Tech has done some good things. Grand Valley, though, did make some adjustments. I think that was the key thing that Matt Mitchell brought up on the sideline.
Yeah, put pressure on him and hitting him when he's running, and he's just not comfortable anymore. And like Coach Mitchell said, he's looking at one receiver only, and that's been advantageous for Grand Valley.
That's another good kick right down to the goal line by Skipper. And Grand Valley with a pop right up into the... Well, I don't even know how that happened, but you saw... It's not often when you see a return man's head snap back on a hit. James Henderson took that one like a champ. Let's look at the defense and what the defense has accomplished. That's the play right there that was a big turnaround play. The recovery by Voss after the hit by Judon, but then Grand Valley getting a lot of people on the quarterback. You see Talley there with a host of others, and then Talley with the interception, stepping in front of Andrew Clark. A little bit later, the big hit there by Goldman. And the Lakers making it happen here at first down as well, as they hold Tech to maybe a short gain of a yard on that first play from scrimmage of the second half.
I heard Coach Mitchell say at halftime he's going to continue to put pressure on this team quarterback-wise, and that's one of the things we talked about at the beginning of the game, going man-to-man on the outside, bringing that extra guy in the box and really putting that pressure. And we see it right here as they're going man-to-man on the outside with the safety over the top. Grand Valley's got 8 guys in the box.
This is Miller, the running back, trying to provide some protection. The ball is thrown out here. That ball hit the turf. Grand Valley with enough pressure, but again, you'd like to see McKissick turn.
Yeah.
There's got to be an internal clock for a defensive back, right, Bob? He's got to count 1, 2, 3 and figure if his guy's still running hard, something's happening.
That was a 7-yard breakout. You know, on a 7-yard breakout, when he's running that far to the sidelines, the receiver doesn't have enough time to do an out and up. When you do an out and up, it's 5 yards or less. When you do that 7 yards, that's when you break on the ball, you turn your head and you look for the ball and look for the quarterback. McKissick needs to get his head turned around. That throw right there, a little behind the receiver and low, that throw was delivered on time. It was a completion.
That's a ball inside. They'll get the first down here to the 31-yard line. It's a nice catch made by Ian Fisher for the pickup. And Grand Valley had some pressure, but Cowie identified it, got up into the pocket a little bit, and made a good throw.
Just a bad angle by Grand Valley and their defensive backs in making that tackle. They had the receiver caught the ball underneath inside first down territory, but yet just didn't take the right angle to get that tackle and get him short of the first down.
Tech is going to run it here. A little bit of a crack back there. They run it effectively up near the 40, a pickup of 7.
Michigan Tech picking up where they did on the first drive of this game, methodically moving the ball down the field, picking up a big third down, which we talked about earlier. They're very, very good at. Grand Valley right here on second and short, just got to keep everything in front of them and try to put them in a third down situation.
3 wide again here for Tech. Cowie's moving people around a little bit. They're going to play it conservatively, try to run for the first down. They do pick it up. I think Grand Valley was almost willing to concede that in that situation. Sometimes you get a down and distance situation where you feel a little bit twitchy when you're the defense and you think they might just take their shot here. So Grand Valley backed off. It's a first down carry for Miller to the 45-yard line. But Grand Valley had Tech once in a 3rd and long, couldn't get off the field. Now they're going to try to make something happen here. 1 wide out. It's a counter play, and Grand Valley plays it pretty well, but still Tech makes a nice move to the outside with Kevin Miller able to pick up about 5.
Talley had that one red. We'll see right here. He just takes a bad angle here, coming in from the outside, and just misses making the play. If he continues his outside leverage and force that play back in, Michigan Tech has a short gain. Instead, he gets caught on the inside in a big run and a big 6-yard gain for the Huskies.
It's a tightrope that a linebacker has to walk. You want him to be aggressive, but he cannot get away from his assignment. 2nd down carry, played better this time by the Lakers.
Schlosser.
Yeah, Schlosser is a guy who I think is going to be a touch more disciplined. It'll be 3rd and probably a passing situation here. 3rd and a long 3 here for Michigan Tech. And at this point in the game and at this position on the field, I wouldn't be at all surprised if Tom Curley has already made the decision if they don't get all of it on this play, they're going to probably go for it on 4th down.
Michigan Tech can't afford to go down any more points with their offense and the way that they run, so they're definitely in 4-down territory.
Oh, that's a beautiful call right there. A little option. Grand Valley had people out there, but Tech is going to pick up the 1st down. Grand Valley not able to stop Miller, and that's a different call and one that obviously Tech held back for just that kind of a situation, Bob.
Haven't seen this all night. Goldman on the outside here, almost able to make the play, but just enough of a block on him by the fullback, Alex Sherbanow. Nice job by Michigan Tech getting that 1st down.
Grand Valley wants to keep the heat on this quarterback. I don't think Tech is nervous just yet. They don't want to get away from their game, but they have been a little bit more willing to throw in the last 10 or 15 minutes. They go play action. Ball out here, back shoulder thrown again. Grand Valley with a player right in the area, and again it's McKissick who doesn't get turned around to handle David Walter.
Another back shoulder throw, just going right to the sticks, the 10-yard mark, and turning to the outside. Does a nice job of delivering this ball right on time to the outside, and McKissick's right there to make the play. Just has got to turn just a little bit quicker to put that hand in there and break it up.
Bob, he's got the hard part of it down, being able to run with the receiver and stay close, but you can't just concede the last couple of feet of that play. Little bubble screen out here to Walter. Great play by Grand Valley. I think it's Goldman who got off the block of Ian Fisher and made the tackle there. Nice job.
Really good job of keeping that outside shoulder free and coming off that block and tripping up the receiver. Although a 5-yard gain from Michigan Tech, again, this is what they love to do. Control the ball, control the tempo.
Well, Matt Judon took himself out of the game here, and Voss is back in. He was a little bit shaken. Maybe it's part of the rotation. Looks to be okay on the sideline, but didn't look okay getting to the sideline. Here's the handoff up the middle. It's going to be another Michigan Tech 1st down, I believe, right down near the 18. If he gains the 18, he's got the 1st down, and they make the move. It's Miller again, banging here for Tech. Grand Valley's got to find a way to stiffen here. They wouldn't mind allowing 3 so much, but they don't want to allow Tech to claim the momentum here and climb right back into this one.
Michigan Tech in the red zone inside. Grand Valley now could be a little bit more aggressive defensively. Step up on those receivers, play a little bump and run, although they're playing back on that slot receiver right now.
Boy, they are way off him. That's an easy throw. Now they're running a guy out in that area as if to set up the bubble, but instead it's the quarterback draw. Cowie makes a good decision this time. Looked like there might have been a grab there by somebody from Michigan Tech as Grand Valley tried to get pressure on, but the ball is down to the 12-yard line. It's a good pickup of about 7.
Grand Valley blitzes Talley up the middle, and Talley trying to pick a shoulder to the outside. You'll see him run right past it right there. If he takes on that block head on and is able to shed the blocker, he'll be able to take the quarterback whichever way he goes. But Talley chooses the outside, quarterback dips inside, gets a nice 6-yard gain.
Yeah, sometimes you think the fastest way there is the best way to approach a play, and that's not always the case because the quarterback sees you coming. He can go right around you. They're going to hand it off to Miller. Miller is hit early. Colin Schlosser again was the guy that made the initial push, and he slowed down Miller, and then some people got there as well. It's going to be 3rd down and about, well, I'm going to say about 1.5 yards, something like that. Maybe slightly more. On the scoreboard, it says 3rd and 2. I don't think it's that long, though.
Looks like the yard to gain might be the 8-yard line, and they're almost at the 11, so it might even be almost 3 yards.
Yeah, I was going to say more like 2 here with the drive starting just inside the 19. They're just outside the 10. Big couple of plays coming up for the Lakers. Cowie, he's rolling right into a rush and taken down beautifully. It's Garrett Pugnier on a safety blitz. Jumping up.
Great job of breaking down. Almost looked like he was going to overrun it, and does just enough with that right side of that arm to hang on to the quarterback and make that play and forcing Michigan Tech into a kicking situation.
Boy, how many times have we seen that over the last couple of years? A guy gets a little bit overexcited, runs right past the play, but you said it, Bob. He broke down and made the play. And now it's the field goal kicker, Josh King, on for a try. 34 yards, pretty much right in front of the uprights. No wind. The kick is up. There's plenty on it, but it sails wide to the right.
Huge.
And Grand Valley holds. Boy, oh boy. Did not see that coming.
Tell you what, we talked about Matt Judon and his big play at halftime of making that turnover. That's pretty much right there a turnover for Grand Valley, holding them on downs and forcing the field goal kick and a wide right kick. Michigan Tech has got to be upset, deflated about that one. No points.
Very often when we see a shaky situation for a kicker in college football, it's because they're over on one of the hash marks. That time the ball was almost right in the middle of the field. And there's the play by Punier, who shows his strength. He's a big lad. Garrett, 6'3", 210, and he might be like a linebacker before he finishes up here. Williams going to hand it off on the draw play. It's a good call. Spencer moves forward after a stumble initially to about the 27. Nice idea for Grand Valley there. That's a different look.
I haven't seen that in quite a while, and a nice little draw play. Spencer just sitting in, checking in like he's going to block, and just gets handed the ball. Didn't look like the feed was really good. Never seemed to have great control and over his feet, but good enough to get 8 yards.
Yeah, they had him fooled on the play. There was no question about that. That could have even gone bigger than what it did go for. So that Tech drive used almost half of the third quarter, Bob. They come away empty.
That's what they do. And you asked me at the halftime, one of the stats that was drawing to me, and it was at the time of possession was nearly equal. Michigan Tech is usually 3-1 in their time of possession.
This is Marty Carter in for Spencer, getting about 4. Tough inside yardage to make it a 1st and 10 situation. Now, you know, Matt Mitchell wants to feed Tom Curley a little bit of his own medicine.
Absolutely.
A long, slow, boring, but effective offensive drive.
We talked about it early. Grand Valley, if they're able to put points up on this board right now, is really going to put Michigan Tech in a bind. We talked about their offense not being very explosive and not having the time to put the points needed to catch back up in this game.
Boy, Grand Valley's got the right play called here. It's a big completion. And how about the work done on the outside by Brandon Bean?
Nice job.
On that catch out of the backfield by Kirk Spencer. Bean locked up with the defensive back and pushed him about 10 yards down the field. And more importantly, Bob did not hold.
We'll get a good look at it. You said it right there. He's got his left hand a little bit up on that jersey, but not enough to draw the flag. And he does a nice job of just sustaining your block. One of the most difficult things for an offensive player to do is try to block in space. And what you got to do is just got to get out there, just kind of chop down, get in his way, and once you engage, stay engaged. And Brandon Bean does a great job of that.
Yeah, the holding call usually comes about when the defender gets a little bit of separation.
Yep.
Williams going on top here. He's got a man open. Can he get there? Oh, just through the hands. So excited was the back judge that he went over the top. Brandon Bean had both hands on that one. It looked like a ball that was going to be well beyond his reach, and somehow he caught up to it, but just could not corral it.
This is a great throw by Bart Williams once again, and just outside of the reach, and almost a huge play for Grand Valley.
I wonder if that was one of those balls where he was looking up and saw some light, because it was a high throw, kind of a diagonal throw, and it looked like the ball almost got onto him before he was ready for it. It almost went a little ways past him when it shouldn't have. Grand Valley's going to bubble it out again, and that's just a drop, and that's unbelievable. That's twice tonight for Spencer. Bart Williams is pointing out there for something, but that was just another bad miscue by Grand Valley. The first one you could forgive, the one that Bean couldn't glom onto, but Kirk Spencer just lack of concentration.
Absolutely, and it's reminiscent of their first drive of the game where they had to give up the ball early, where they just a couple of mistakes of a drop pass, not necessarily a drop by Brandon, but that drop right there by Kirk, his second one of the game, something he never does. And again, letting the ball get into your body, that's going to happen. You got to catch that ball outside with the hands.
That ball's going to be probably a short gain. Tech is playing it pretty well, 3 or 4 yards, but it keeps the clock going. Now they're going to run it out there again, and this time Bean's got it, and Bean, no, he didn't quite get there. Should he have gone back up inside, Bob?
I think he should, if he could have he tried to get to the outside, use his speed to get to that marker, but if he had just been a little bit more patient, let his blocking set it up, I think he would have had that first down without any problem. Grand Valley looks like they're going to go in Michigan Tech territory. He's going to go for it on 4th down.
Well, now we're going to get a little stoppage of play there. Who is that over? That's Bean, who's a little bit slow getting up. Boy, you're right, Bob. We've seen a couple of times from Bean tonight that he seems to wants to run around people rather than getting back up inside. There's Tom Curley talking to him, and I think Tom Curley is actually saying something like he maybe got a response from Bean, and he's trying to tell the Grand Valley training staff exactly what's wrong. So that's a big loss if he's not able to continue.
If I can read lips, it looked like Coach Curley said ankle.
You know, I think what happens here is he probably is okay. I don't think it was an injury sustained on the cut, but maybe he got rolled up at the very end of the play, which we see a lot. And they are looking at his ankle. Well, you hope it's his ankle, because when they start going further up the leg, that's when people start spending a long time on the sideline. It's going to take a little while to get Bean off, and it gives Matt Mitchell plenty of time to consider what he wants to do here. He's going to come all the way across and try to have a look at it to find out exactly what's happening with his guy. You don't see this very often. Coaches usually let that go, and I think Matt Mitchell wanted to satisfy himself that it's not something more serious than that. And if he hears from the trainers that they're looking at the ankle.
The good news is Brandon tried to get up right away, was putting some weight on it. So you think just from that it's not real serious, but we'll get a good look right here. And
yeah,
just number 15.
I think it's his right ankle. He never really cleared there as he was going down at the very end, and he got dragged down. Nothing wrong with the tackle at all from Jalen Williams-Boone.
Yeah, it just rolls up on the backside of the ankle, and Brandon again putting a little bit of weight on it. We'll see if he can walk off under his own accord, and if that's the case, then it's just going to be some nice ice and some treatment over the next couple of days.
What's lost in all of this is what is Grand Valley thinking about this fourth down play? I think a lot of people are thinking maybe we ought to be kicking the ball right here. Well, Bain is going to get some assistance getting off. They don't want to put any more weight on it.
I can see that.
So Grand Valley now has to make a determination. It's fourth down and almost 2. Now they are in Michigan Tech territory, but I think the prudent play here with a 3-score lead, Bob, would be to boot it down there and make them drive the distance.
Well, Jamie Potts is going to be back in the quarterback position, a wildcat formation, so this gives Grand Valley the option to obviously punt it and or run something if they see a look out of Michigan Tech. Right now the look that Michigan Tech is giving them is a very defensive one, so my guess is a pooch punt with nobody back by Pot. And I like this call a lot.
Yeah, I don't think Tech's going to rush him real hard. Now Jamie's going to drop back, which indicates he's going to kick it for sure. And it's the quick kick. And if that ball gets down, it's going to be beautiful for Grand Valley. This could really turn out well.
Oh,
boy, I think guys always make that mistake of cutting it too close. We'll take a break. We'll come back and talk about more football right here on the Grand Valley Sports Network. All right, Brandon Bean continues to get a look at that right foot or ankle. And Michigan Tech has it after the touchback. Potts made a pretty good kick, but Grand Valley didn't play it that well. Look out here. It's a good carry up for near the 30-yard line. It's going to be a 9-yard pickup on first down.
Nice cut. Schlosser filling the hole really nicely, and right at the last second, a little dip to the inside. Makes a nice cut and a nice gain.
It's James Henderson. Yeah, he's done a lot of duty here tonight on kick teams and playing as the featured back behind Brandon Cowie. And he's going to get it again right now. And he's going to have the first down, but not much more than that. And I think that's Schlosser coming up over the top again on him. That perhaps makes that play. It is a first down for Michigan Tech. Clock continues to roll, and we are now down just inside 5 minutes left in the third quarter. So Grand Valley wants to keep the clock moving. They want to get a stop here if they can. Cowie looking to roll right. The receiver fell down. He's got nobody out there. Now he lobs it up and just throws it away. That's probably a pretty judicious play by the quarterback. His receiver got tangled in the feet of the defensive back for Grand Valley over there, and as a result, they had no other options in the area.
I thought he might try to tuck it and run. He had James Henderson out in front of him as a blocker. If he just had pointed him out in front and run, and he could have gained 5-6 yards, but throws it away, allows for a second down situation.
Grand Valley still giving that slot receiver a lot of space out there. Now we see the linebackers shifting out to the side. It's the bubble again, and Grand Valley does not play it well again. It's Walter it just seems hard to really imagine, Bob, that second receiver has got a safety who's kind of assigned to him, but the safety's 10 yards off the line of scrimmage.
Right there, we got a pretty good look at it on the discipline on your routes. Jacob Stutter shooting in from the inside, and what you got to do on this screen, you got to have a guy coming from the outside, which you see right there, but on the inside, Brad Horling's got to do a better job of coming in and taking the cutback. The discipline on having a guy from the outside, a guy from the inside, and filling with the safety from the middle, Grand Valley's just not doing a really good job of that.
Now that's pretty simple yardage that's been available a lot against the Lakers this year. They're going to try to throw it out in the flat, and it's a great call, a screen. This is Henderson, who's into Grand Valley territory. Nice tackle made on the play by the defensive player for Grand Valley. And who is that out there? Is that that's Talley, I think, coming back to make the play. One of
the things you do against a great pass rusher is throw screens right over the top of his head. Matt Judon rushing from the outside, just a simple pass of screen shot right over the head. Center's releasing, getting a block downfield. Michigan Tech doing a good job of mixing up the pass and run with another nice drive.
Now they bubble it out again in Grand Valley. It's going to be a double pass, but Grand Valley plays it well. They want to come back to Cowie, and he had a caravan.
He did.
Out in front of him.
Oh, the coaching staff up here in the booth screaming out, yelling, and making the call. But if the receiver doesn't bobble that ball, that play might have gone for some big yardage.
I think that Grand Valley had that play pretty well, even if he does catch it cleanly. I think it was Horling that was out there, and he got there. Well, I think
low
that
throw and a bobble.
Yeah, he did, and he lost his nerve a little bit to on the throw. So it's a loss of 6 on the play. That's a trick play that probably would have worked.
You only pull that one out once a game, too.
Cowie gets a big rush up the middle here and delivers under pressure for a nice gain. They're going to pick up about 13 on the play inside the 40, and the guy to make the catch again is David Walter. It's kind of interesting on the 2 deep. You don't see Walter's name. He's a kind of a situational receiver, but when you're using 3 receivers, there's going to be 4 or 5 guys, maybe 6 that are going to get into the action. He's a valuable guy. He's up near double digits for catches tonight.
Kyle's short with that tackle. He's really laboring on that left shoulder. Took a hit on that tackle. Keep an eye on that.
Let's see if they go back to Henderson. They're looking for him in the flat, but it was a great job by Talley to get in there and get into the vision of the quarterback.
And that's exactly what I was talking about earlier. Grand Valley doing a great job of disguising their defense. They went from a cover 3, jumped into a man-to-man coverage, bump and run up in the top, and really no separation from the center, and a great job of rushing from the outside.
So it's 4th down here, and this is really the most critical point of the game for Michigan Tech. They turn it over here. They're behind 17 with 17 minutes left. They've got to convert here. We'll keep an eye on the quarterback, Cowie. Tech goes empty. They're going to look to throw it across the middle. They didn't. Oh, they did make the first down on a bobble, and then the second effort. What a play made, though, by Andrew Clark. At first, it looked like it was going to be easy. Then he bobbled it, and then he got hit, and Grand Valley not quite able to wrap up. Here's the play.
He caught it, but the bobble came from the hit.
Oh, my goodness. You're right,
Great
Bob.
connection right there.
And what a retrieval there. And who was it that made the hit? Was it Short?
Yeah.
Kyle Short made the hit. 1st and 10. That could have been a game changer right there for the Lakers. Grand Valley did everything right. The ball just bounced Michigan Tech's way. Henderson is in motion. He's out on the flank. Well, Cowie running with an empty backfield. That's kind of a clever call for 8. They spread everybody out and let the quarterback go. That's kind of a Jason Vanderlaan look.
Grand Valley right on that play again, just kind of overrunning it to the outside, not staying disciplined in their pass rushing scheme. The ends on the outside really got to force that play to the inside and let the pursuit, let the tackles, and let the linebackers come up and make that play.
Brandon Bean has his hat off on the sidelines. I don't think we're going to see him anymore tonight. There's a lot of medical people down there talking to him. It just doesn't look like he's going to be able to put any weight on it. They're going to hand it off to Henderson this time. Great tackle in the backfield.
Talley.
I think it was, who else is it from the secondary? Was that Short that came up? That's Schlosser, 49 again. Playing a lot in the middle tonight. And also helping out for Grand Valley. Who else do we see in there on that one? Yeah, you're right. It's Talley.
Tell you what, Schlosser, only a sophomore. This kid is a football player. He's got a nose for the ball. 6'1", 220 pounds. He's just going to get better and better in the next couple of years.
He's in an important position right now. Grand Valley's got a lot of people up. Tech's throwing it over the middle, and there is Schlosser again, I believe, isn't it?
Yes,
yeah,
it is.
Dropping into coverage that time, and on the crossing route, he lowered the boom on the receiver for Michigan Tech, Andrew Clark. So now 4th down coming up again, and we'll see if Tech can convert. Boy, Matt Judon just tossed somebody right into the backfield there.
Oh, man. I'll tell you, another 4th down and short situation. Grand Valley really forcing Michigan Tech to earn every single yard right here. And this one might, well, they're going to get one more play in before the end of the quarter.
Grand Valley makes a change here. They get out the pass rusher, Keen Belcher. I think they have to snap it.
They do.
Or risk a penalty here. Now Tech is going to be forced. Oh. Yeah, well, it's Grand Valley that calls the timeout with 9 seconds left in the period. That would have been tough on Michigan Tech to have to take one there.
4 seconds left on the play clock.
Well, there's a little bit of confusion, and probably discretion's the better part of valor. If you're Grand Valley, you got the lead, you make a play here, you're going to be 15 minutes away from victory. Grand Valley made the change, though. They got Rosenquist back on in the middle. He is more of the run anchor tackle, and they got out Keen Belcher, who has been in there fairly regularly as a pass rusher. Another young player from the Grand Rapids area who's really started to develop. But we talked about Schlosser. I really think if you look at the whole roster, Schlosser has been probably the emerging surprise player of the year for Grand Valley. A guy that you wouldn't really count on, and there are other good players at his position, and he's forced his way into the lineup.
Yeah, Coach Mitchell talked about at the beginning of the season just being a great role player, a lot of depth at the linebacker position, and really happy with him filling in. He said over the 6 weeks period, he's definitely earned his spot as a starter on this team, and great things to come. Not the greatest athlete coming out of high school, but yet he's just got such a great nose for the ball, putting on size as he gets to his sophomore season. And for the next 2 years, he's going to be a force in the GLIAC.
Well, Tom Curley try to hit him up over the top and go for the big one here on 4th down. They're going to run the option again. Grand Valley played it pretty well. I don't know. It's close. I think they made it. I think they just made it, but maybe not. Maybe not. Let's see.
I think it's enough.
Oh, Tom Curley's waving his arms forward.
Great
and
job.
It is a 1st down. Boy, they just got there. And it is Henderson. Yeah, I think, well,
that's a good spot.
I don't know. That was a favorable spot. And that will end the 3rd quarter of action. We're going to come back with more. 15 to go. Grand Valley trying to hang on for its 6th win of the season against Michigan Tech.
What if a home phone could also be a smartphone? And what if that home phone could save you money on your home and wireless bill at the same time? With Xfinity Voice, you get amazing technology like readable voicemail on your smartphone, caller ID on your TV, and even text messaging, all for a low price. Start saving with unlimited nationwide talk and text and switch to Xfinity Voice for just $19.99 a month for 12 months. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
I'm almost done.
Now you can pay your bill, manage your appointments, and check your connection status. Anytime, anywhere.
Oh, so you're protesting? Okay.
Introducing Xfinity My Account, available on any device.
Yeah, you got some people on the bicycle down there. Just down the way is Brandon Bean, who's getting some consolation and some handshakes from his teammates. I'm pretty sure he's done for the night.
Definitely done for the night, and hopefully just a high ankle sprain or lower ankle sprain, something he can get some work done, some stimulation and some ice, and be ready back for next week.
Michigan Tech is not down for the night. Oh, that's a clever play there as Cowie looks like he's going to draw a quarterback draw. Then he stops near the line of scrimmage, and he's throwing it to Andrew Clark, who had broken inside, but this ball is batted down.
Yeah, McKissick on the coverage, but trailing the big wide receiver. And if that ball was thrown on point, that could have been a big play for Michigan Tech, but a great job of Grand Valley defense. And it looked like Talley maybe getting his hands up on that ball.
Well, what do coaches always bang on you in practice, saying get the hands up, get the hands up every single play. And one guy did, and that's how it worked for Grand Valley. They're going to hand it off to Henderson, who's got a little bit of running room down inside the 20. Picks up about maybe 5. It's going to be 3rd and 5 here for Michigan Tech. No question they're in 4-down territory right now. And, you know, really, I guess you'd look at it 2 different ways. If Tom Curley, you could say we're going to need a field goal at some point. Do we take it now if we get pushed back? I don't think so. It's just too hard to resist. Grand Valley's late getting the man on. Who was it that came out of there stuttered? So I'm assuming that Trey Walton is back in the contest. Cowie to the left. Looking to throw, could be 6. It is 6, a touchdown. Down in the corner, McKissick not able to keep up with Ian Fisher, and give Michigan Tech credit. That's a tough throw for a right-hander rolling left, and it is right on the nose.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Rolling left, good coverage, good play develop, and just a perfect pass, pitch and catch. Tough for McKissick to stay on that one. I mean, not bad coverage, trailing just a little bit, but wow, give Cowie a lot of credit coming up with that big pass moving to his left.
So the lead will shrink here for Grand Valley. King is on for the extra point try. The snap is down. The kick is up and through, and we'll keep it right here with 14-18 remaining. Here it is again. He's got time. Does something very important there, Bob. Even though he's running left, he made a decided effort to turn his body, get his shoulders forward. Coaches talk about that. That's good fundamental quarterback play. And, you know, sometimes you just have to tip your hat. There really wasn't much that could be done there. Grand Valley was trying to press in the third down play, and two guys made a good play, the quarterback and the receiver, Ian Fisher. And Tech is not done just yet. So we'll see how Grand Valley is able to manage itself and its emotions here. Up 10. They need to take some time off the clock. They might have enough points to win this game, but what they really need to do is to keep the ball in their possession.
We talked about the development of Bart Williams all in the first half of this game, and he's done such a nice job in the 6 weeks getting better and better and better. This is a situation right now where he really needs to shine. We got 14 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Michigan Tech just cuts it to a 10-point lead. If he can put a drive together and put some points up on the board, it's really going to show a lot for the maturation of this young quarterback.
This is where Grand Valley wants it in the hands of Kirk Spencer. Can he dip inside? He does. It's a nice return by Spencer. He's going to get it out near midfield for Grand Valley, which will start at the 45-yard line. Nice. That's great work by the senior.
When he started going east and west, I was a little concerned, but he's got great vision, does a nice job at turning that corner. A huge play for the special teams for Grand Valley.
Well, Grand Valley now has the short field, and Tech, that's just the worst thing that could have happened to them, just about, aside from a touchdown. Grand Valley's out in the middle of the field where they can open up the playbook and do whatever they want here, but I want to see if we're going to get 34 in the contest. Spencer is back in for this first play. Generally speaking, a return guy will go out for a play or two to catch his breath. That might be indicative of what Grand Valley's going to do here, but they're going to look and throw it over the top. Oh, no. Ball was tipped. They were trying to get it over the middle to Matt Williams. And Bart Williams, he pulled the trigger a little quick on that one, Bob?
I don't think so. Just a great job defensively, getting the hands up. He just saw his receiver right here in the slot, had Bart Williams open right there. Would have been a nice pass, nice catch, but a great job, Michigan Tech, getting their hands up on the pass.
Yeah, that was Tanner Agan. We haven't called his name tonight, but he had some elevation, and he's a big boy to boot, so you really can't fault Bart Williams for that one. Here's Spencer. Little trap play for Grand Valley. Spencer's into Tech territory right near the 49, but still it's not a sure thing for Grand Valley, and they've only got one play to make it happen, because with a 10-point lead late in the contest, I don't think Matt Mitchell is going to try anything fancy here on fourth down.
Especially with the methodical offense that Michigan Tech has and how long it takes for them to score. You don't want to give them a short field. So Grand Valley right now, if they don't get a first down, look for them to punt. But again, we talk about Bart Williams and his maturation and what he can do right now. If he can put a pass or put a play together right now to get the first down, it's going to go a long way in securing.
This play was a long time coming in, the clock running down. There's a lot of different personnel out there right now. Kaiser, the backup tight end, is on. Williams looking to roll. He's got a man open. It's caught. Jamie Potts, look out. Down the sideline for the touchdown.
Wow. What a pass. What a catch. A small window to throw it to. A simple out route on the outside. The two wide receivers running post play. Opens up. Unbelievable catch and some speed by Potts on the outside right there.
He never thought about cutting back, Bob, with that defender drawing a beat on him. It's a good throw. And look at Jamie go. Matt Williams trying to get out there with him. That's a pretty quick guy giving chase. Williams, Boone, and I think he was surprised by Jamie Potts' speed.
Well, man-to-man coverage on the outside, and both defenders had their backs turned, covering the post, and as soon as he caught it, they didn't have time to turn around and catch him. Big play.
How about that drive for Grand Valley? They answer in 3 plays, and Skipper bangs it through. So all the good work that Tech did on offense undone in one fell swoop here as Jamie Potts, boy, kind of the comeback kid. We thought he was gone to professional baseball forever, and he's back wreaking havoc upon opponents again in this his senior season.
Good to have you back, Jamie. Good to have you back. He is a big play guy, and it took him a couple of games to get his feet underneath him, as you might expect, playing baseball all summer and not having any type of training camp. But once he got his feet underneath him, these last few games, boy, has he put up some numbers and been impressive and been a go-to guy. It takes a while for a quarterback and a receiver to develop a relationship, and these two guys have done it very, very quickly.
Well, you know, it's kind of interesting, Bob. I mentioned the fact that Nick Kaiser, who we haven't seen very much this year at all, is in the game on that play. Dotson, the true freshman, was in there. And I guess realistically, if you're Michigan Tech, you think 15's out there. Right. They might be going to him, but they still didn't get it done. An impressive touchdown play, just like Tech's was a couple of moments earlier. Here's Henderson back at the 8. He's got a bit of an alley, but Grand Valley closes it down very quickly. And let's get a look at that number right there. The guy that got him for Grand Valley on the coverage team, Brendan McMahon, the young man who's the brother of Kyle McMahon, the quarterback from a couple of years ago.
Great job of coverage. Special teams playing a huge role. We saw in the last 2 kickoffs, Grand Valley able to get up near midfield, and then on their coverage being able to keep it at the 25-yard line.
Well, I think you're going to see Grand Valley really come off the edge right now, and we'll see who they go with besides Judon to get after the quarterback here. Tech's going to hand it off on first down, and it's a great play. They've got great yardage near midfield. That's not what the doctor ordered if you're a Laker fan. That's a 26-yard run that moves the chains. And let's talk about what happens here.
Just getting to that second level, and just the linebackers not feeling like they should, and Pugnier holding on for dear life. Grand Valley got to do a better job against the run right there. Michigan Tech, not a big explosive play offense, but you can't let them get big explosive plays on the run.
Well, they're going to explode for more yardage here as Grand Valley misses a tackle on the corner again. And I think it was one of those defensive backs who was in position to make the play that time. Could you see who it was, Bob? I'm not sure if it was
Pugnier again.
Pugnier again.
Yep, on the outside there, just there to make the play, but not able to wrap up and bring them down. You got Talley right here.
And again,
Pugnier
Talley commits inside a little bit too quickly, and that hurts Grand Valley. It's a pickup of 9 as the clock goes down near 12 minutes. Still time for Tech. They're not going to go away anytime soon. We know they're not going to quit. They're going to hand it off again, and Grand Valley this time does make the play right in the middle. And we see Big Sonny Haskins as one of the players there, and I think that's Schlosser probably again getting up off the bottom. And it was.
How many teams do you see down 17 with only 12 minutes left in the game run 3 consecutive run plays? And that's Michigan Tech and what they do. And Grand Valley got to recognize here on 3rd and short situation, obviously they need to get the first down. Like you said, maybe just give this one up, give him the first down. But
Sherbino's got it. He's got the first down. He didn't get much more than that, down to about the 37. That will move the chains. 11:30.
But the clock will keep ticking.
Yeah, they reset quickly here, but Tech is going to get right up to the line of scrimmage in a hurry. Tom Curley was an offensive coach at Central Michigan, was a coordinator. And he's the guy that's making this thing run right now. Grand Valley coming with pressure. They pick it up. Michigan Tech does. It's a bad tackle, but Grand Valley finally makes the play on David Walter, who's really had a fine night. He's got another first down.
Let's give this offensive line some credit right there. A full double blitz up the middle. They do a great job of picking it up. Luke Schultz, Matt Miter on the right side, the center, Joe View and Bruink and Knopke on the other side. They're just been doing a really good job of protecting their quarterback and establishing the run today.
This is where Grand Valley has to make sure. You don't want to just give away a quick scoring play here. Make them grind it out all the way to the end zone. Matt Mitchell thought there was motion.
Yeah,
Somebody wagged their arm. It wasn't the center, though, was it?
Yeah, it was the center. It looked like he kind of dipped his shoulders up pretty quickly.
This is a ball deep down the field. Coverage out there.
Great
Incomplete.
job. That's turning your head right there. Trey Walton does a nice job of coming up and finding the ball. Looks like the receiver almost had it secured when he came down, but Walton didn't give up on it, knocked the ball out of the hands. Sure, we'll get a great look at it here again.
Yeah, that was Walter again they tried to get to, and Walton is with him. His head is turned. I thought he was going to collect this ball, but
just
Walton,
stays with it, gets that other hand off him. Great job of coverage on Trey Walton and not giving up on the play.
Super play there. 2nd down and 10. 10:39 left in the 4th. Grand Valley 31, Michigan Tech 14. Lakers can get a takeaway here. They'll be in business. This is going to be the running back who we haven't seen for a while, Kevin Miller, down to about the 22. A little bit of a surprising call there, Bob.
Yeah, a little bit of a draw. They've had success running the ball up to this point. In a passing situation, Michigan Tech trying to catch Grand Valley off guard. Michigan Tech trying to do what they do best, but yet taking a lot of time off this clock.
You talked about Frank Bruing. That is an impressive head of hair that we are looking at on number 70, almost down to his waist. Well, it gets cold up there. You probably put that to good use. 3rd down and 8. Grand Valley coming with the heat. Will they get there? No, they do not. It's a completion. Walter again, finally tackled as he gets to the 10.
That was a nice little dig route on the outside, stemming to the left and bringing him back into the middle. I think that was Ian Fisher.
Yeah, you're right. It was 18, Bob Fisher. I was just about to say the same thing. And hanging on for dear life is Horling there. Ball was just outside the 10. It is not a first. Well, maybe it is a 1st and goal. Looks like it's right at the 10.
They put the chains down.
Grand Valley still wants to only grudgingly give up yardage here in this situation. Keep Tech out of the end zone if they can. They're going to give it to Miller. Tried to pop outside. Nothing going that time.
Again, Grand Valley doing a great job of putting pressure up the middle, forcing the east-west run in the pursuit of Grand Valley's defense. I'll tell you, I've been really impressed with the way they've gotten 11 hats to the ball tonight. Everybody running to the ball and surrounding the ball carrier.
That was Schlosser and Voss combining for the tackle there. The clock continues to tick. We'll get down to about the 9-minute mark by the time they snap it this time. We'll see if McKissick can make a play. Boy, they have been after him tonight. He's a good player. Play action. They're looking for the ball toward the pylon. Oh, should have been intercepted. It was a great job by Walter to kind of stick a hand in on Trey Walton. They looked for all the world like Trey Walton. He locked up. He bodied up on him quickly, Bob, and he's the only guy that had a chance to make this play.
David Walter, their big play wide receiver, touchdowns in each of the last 6 games. They want to go to him, and the back shoulder pass, the ball's thrown way too far to the inside by Cowie, and Trey Walton does a nice job of finding that ball and almost makes that big interception. Look for the tight end over here on the left side, the big fella.
They have not gone near him lately, have they? This is 5 wide, empty backfield. Grand Valley coming, ball over the middle, tackle made at the 5. Nice work done by the defender there, Dante Carey.
That's a tough play by Dante Carey, having to run with that wide receiver all the way across the field. Great job of speed and staying on the hip and making that tackle, forcing a 4th down goal situation. Michigan Tech's thinking about what they're going to do right now, but it looks like they're going to go for it.
I can't believe they're not going to call a timeout here, because if they don't get this touchdown, it's all over but the digging. The clock is rolling. I would think that maybe Grand Valley might sit back here on the quarterback. Tech knows they don't have any speed, guys. They got to throw it in a hurry. We'll find out what Grand Valley can come up with. Will Cowie call his own number? Trying to get Grand Valley to jump offside. Lakers are coming. Ball into the middle. Knockdown. The Lakers take over on downs. There's a flag out there, though.
Roughing the passer.
Oh, my goodness. I can't believe that.
Alton Voss.
Did you see it, Bob?
I did not.
The ball was gone. I don't know about that. I mean, it's a full blitz. They're coming after him.
We'll see where Alton Voss maybe gets up near the head.
Yeah. No, he did. Got him up in the head. That's just not a good play. Good call by the official. I saw the quarterback throw it pretty much unimpeded, and I know he took a bump, but why do you put the hands up in the face like that?
You know, you try to put your hands up to try to deflect the ball, and you got to just be a little bit more disciplined in getting him down before you make contact. An effort play by Voss, not really anything but an effort play, and just a tough break for Grand Valley.
Sherbanau, they're moving the pile. Did he get in? Yeah, he did. He knocked it home. So Grand Valley again in a situation where they should have been off the field. Now a flag flies again, and what's this all about? They're looking at Grand Valley again. No, they're looking at Michigan Tech here for some reason. Grand Valley players are clapping. It's not going to change the touchdown, I don't think.
But it's going to be a 15-yard penalty on the kickoff. Whichever way it goes is going to be a huge play for tipping the field here.
Celebration call, or maybe a unsportsmanlike conduct of some kind.
Touchdown is good after the play. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Defense number 9. That penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. Try for point.
That was not the outcome Grand Valley was looking for. And this is, again, it's a basic breakdown in discipline that the Lakers have had to deal with. And That time it's their best player, Matt Judon, who gets flagged. You just can't have that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a frustration play. You get big fourth down stop, and you get a 15-yard penalty, and the next play they score. You got to keep your head about you and not make a silly mistake right there, because like I said, it's going to be a huge advantage for Michigan Tech.
The kick is up and through from Josh King. 31-21. More to come tonight on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
At Metro Health, we don't see patients, we see people. And when it comes to their health care, there's one thing we're all working toward: helping them feel better. Better summers, better dances, better retirements, and better roads ahead. This is what we want for every person we see every day. Better. Metro Health. Better all around.
You learn something every single day at Grand Valley State University about who you are and who you can become, about where you've been and where you're going, about your goals and how to accomplish them. At the end of the day, you know what you want from life. Find it within yourself. Find it within Grand Valley State University.
Well, here we go. Certainly all the possibilities are available to Tom Curley. You would think an onside kick might be in order here. Then again, they might just try to pooch it over the top. Grand Valley's going to call a timeout. I don't think Matt Mitchell liked what he had set up there.
It's a good timeout right there. See what Michigan Tech sets up with on their kick team and then kind of adjust accordingly. Michigan Tech might switch up what they're doing, but you want to make sure that you're prepared for what they got for you.
Let's go back and take a look at what happened in that last drive there. Grand Valley had played it pretty well. This is the nice run that started things off. Really a critical play early on for Kevin Miller, and then the toss out to Walter, a couple of missed tackles. The third down conversion there, that time to Ian Fisher. And then the handoff to Sherbinow, his second score of the ball game, both at the same end. 31-21. I hate to bring up a bad subject here, Bob, but you think back to Ohio Dominican, 10-point lead with 7.5 minutes to go. Grand Valley gives up 2 scores, and that really continued the downward spiral a year ago.
But the thing with Dominican, they were big plays going up and over the top, huge plays. Michigan Tech really doesn't have that potential. So Grand Valley right now, although Grand Valley does not want to give the ball back, got to be careful in regards to making big plays.
They do pooch it. Spencer's got to get on it, and just barely does at the 15. That's the kind of thing I was thinking. They had 10 guys within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage there. Not the line of scrimmage, but up near where Grand Valley was lined up, and I thought a well-placed pooch kick might be hard to handle. So that works very effectively because Grand Valley's got lousy field position at the 14, and it very nearly turned into a ball that was recovered by Michigan Tech.
I'd like to see Grand Valley right here be patient and move the ball and move the chains, not have to try to go for the big play. Grand Valley in the past has been known to try to make big plays in these situations, putting themselves in third down long situations.
Well, Spencer is back out there right now. Grand Valley's got 3 wide again. Well, it might be that Tech is going to force him to throw the ball. Oh, nice little draw play. Spencer, get north and south, gets away from one, needs to get a block.
Great job
of
staying in bounds.
Now he needs to get on the ground. There you go. Well done, 38-yard line.
Very easily, Spencer could have just ran out of bounds, and the senior, very smart, although trying to cut back, maybe make a big play, but stays in bounds. Once this clock resets, there goes some ticks off the clock for Grand Valley.
But Grand Valley still got 30 before they have to snap it.
Great play call by Tim Morrison and that
very good
staff.
play. Now Marty Carter comes in. Spencer, who took a hard hit and then had a long run, that's a good substitution there. Now you drop the hammer with Carter if you can. And boy, oh boy, talking about some impressive locks there. We got one on the defensive side too. Who was that over there that we were just looking at? Not quite sure.
The offensive lineman for Michigan Tech.
Well, they got a linebacker with the main as well. Here's Marty Carter, both hands wrapped around the rock. Nothing doing on the run. Clock ticks down toward the 7-minute mark.
That might be Dorsey out there.
Was that Dorsey?
Yeah.
Yeah, they went with the veteran guy, 22.
Didn't look like he had the explosion that Marty usually has.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. It's going to be Spencer right back in. Carter's down there on the sideline. He's ready to go, but Dorsey, you know, he seems to have lost just a touch this year, maybe because of the injury problems, but He's not the kind of guy that's going to gain the corner for you in a game like this with a lot of congestion out on the field. Clock down to 5. Grand Valley's Williams taking a look. Has time, tries to bubble it out here at Spencer. A catch that gets him back to the original line of scrimmage and maybe a yard. But Grand Valley will take it down inside of 6 minutes remaining here for this third down snap.
Heck of a tackle by Ben Talkin, the linebacker, 6'2", 245, came up and put a really nice hit on Kirk Spencer. And as Kirk Spencer comes out with a missing wheel, shoe falling off the young man.
Well, if you're Marty Carter right here, I don't know that you're going to get the ball, but you better get one of the pass rushers.
I think it is a Dorsey again.
It is Dorsey, yeah. Well, there's Walker down there, Carter down there, 34. Let's see if Bart Williams can deliver. Potts is the man in motion. No Bean. Ball out here. Oh. Just the wrong way to go on that one. Tried to get to Erston Smith, and Grand Valley's going to have to kick it away with 5:45 remaining. Again, when you're making that long, late throw to the sideline.
And I think he was keyed into him early. There was double coverage on the outside. Justin Wright down on the other side of the field was wide open. The coverage shifted over to the top side. He had Justice Wright open on the bottom side, and that's just something Bart Williams has to take a look at on film and make sure he adjusts to and makes a better decision.
Well, Jamie's going to roll right here, but I think the big thing is to catch it and rid yourself of this football quickly. Don't take a lot of time. And that's a great kick from Potts, driving the return man back. Grand Valley's got people there at the 15-yard line. And I think it might have been McMahon again, one of the guys down there to make the stop. A long way to go for Tech. 5:36 remaining. Grand Valley up 10.
Dudes, been a couple of A-plus roommates. And I hate to do this because you guys have been cool with everything. You're cool with my band. You're cool with that English accent phase, remember that?
We're literally out to milk.
And that theater troupe.
Rain down up. Hey, could you give me a second, please?
But State Farm's helped me be really smart with my money, and I got my own pet now. Oh, no big deal, Mom, Dad. My new place doesn't allow pets. Dylan's gonna have to stay here. One love, Pops.
Start out right in life. With everything from renter's insurance to your first bank account, State Farm is there.
My fathead king! My fathead king! Oh my gosh! Yes! What was that? The bear! They gave my pony, Daddy!
That looks really good. That look good?
This is my fat head.
I'm so excited for her. The goosebumps.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome!
Do you like it?
I love it!
Well, it may come down to this drive right here. There's the offense talking things over, but the defense has to get it back or at least slow down Michigan Tech here in this 10-point ball game. And Tech is looking to run it again, and they've got the corner on first down, but that's good work out there. The Grand Valley defender on that side, I think, was it Kyle Short or Pugnier? It may have been Pugnier. Hard to read those numbers.
Yep, it was Pugnier.
Pugnier, number 25.
Michigan Tech having success in their last drive, running the football and getting some big yardage. They're going to have to put the ball up in the air and move these chains to stop this clock. They're going to run out of time.
Yeah, they're a little surprising. They're rolling right. The man out here in the flat. The ball is to Walter. Did it hit the ground? That ball looked like it was short hopped in there, but they're going to give him the reception. I'd like to see this on replay. I don't know that it's necessarily an incompletion, but it looked awfully close. Ball thrown out here. I think you got to give the young man the benefit of the doubt there.
He got both arms underneath. Good call by the officials.
33-yard line, 1st and 10 now, down to 4:47. Looking out in the flat. Grand Valley's got people there. Could they have called offensive interference there? Because Talley is right down there. It's not Talley, it's Goldman. And Nick Postma's mad. The receiver turned defender and put two hands right into his back as he started to make his jump up.
Great job by Marquez Goldman jumping underneath that route.
Clock stops, 4:41 left to go. Tech trying hard to preserve its undefeated season. Coming in 5-0. Didn't play a lot of tough competition early on. They've got a lot still to come. Grand Valley coming on the pass rush. Ball is behind. Big hit on the receiver. No flag there. College Schlosser lowered the boom on the intended receiver, Walter.
Great job of stepping up. The Michigan Tech coaches next to us looking for a late hit, but that was just a great football play right here by Kyle Schlosser.
Slosser didn't know he had the ball, and he didn't really spear him or anything, just kind of wrapped him up, and he's a strong guy and knocked him down. 4:38. Third down now and 10. Grand Valley has just not had the ability to get off the field tonight in a lot of these big play situations. Can they do it here?
Got to put some quick pressure on the quarterback.
See if they stay disciplined in their lanes. That's an underneath throw and another big hit again by Goldman. Or is that Talley? Talley dropping the receiver Walter for a pickup of about 5. Well,
Coach Postma telling the kids to quit celebrating, get set up right now. A huge 4th down play right here for Grand Valley.
Grand Valley looking for a stop. You know what they're going to do. They're going to try to cross some receivers, Bob, get a guy underneath as we get back to the action here. Grand Valley has to stay disciplined, not allow somebody to break contain. Quarterback's trying to run for it. He's not going to get there.
Great job of coverage in the secondary. They did a great job at disguising. They looked like they were coming with the blitz. Talley drops underneath coverage. Same thing on the other side, forcing the quarterback to try to tuck and run and make his play, and he cannot get the first down.
I think Keen Belcher was one of the guys that got involved in this play right here. He's a speed rusher. And who gets there?
They dropped Jujon as well underneath the flat. That was a great call by Grand Valley. A little zone blitz. Matt Jujon dropping into the right side flat. I was wondering who dropped into the other flat as Talley dropped into the short side. What a play and what an athletic play when you can have your big defensive end drop in coverage and make them drop and
I think if you're Cowley, one of the first guys that you're looking to identify is Matt Jujon. All of a sudden you see him floating out. I wonder if that distracted him a little bit.
I think it did. Why he thought he could tuck it and run. He got an extra defender, but Grand Valley, great job.
Oh, boy. Oh no, that's not right. Boy, Marty Carter, where are you? Spencer looked like he ran past the handoff. I don't know if Bart wanted to give it to him or not, but it's just a big negative play for Grand Valley on first down. The clock continues to run.
You say that, and I'm not sure either whether that was supposed to be a run, but if it's an option play right now, that's not a play you want to be pulling right now to have the quarterback make any type of decision. You want either to be a give or you want it to be a keep, one of the two, because you don't want a mishandled handoff.
Well, two things there. You don't want your quarterback to be the last guy back there, and you don't want him turning his back on the defenders, which is, well, this is a nice run and a first down for the Lakers all the way down inside the 30. How about that, Kirk Spencer? The senior pretty much was forced to do. Now he's looking to throw again, unless Grand Valley goes with that draw action, which they're looking at, and they do call. This is a nice run and a first down for the Lakers all the way down inside the 30. How about that, Kirk Spencer? The senior pretty much puts the wraps on it now for Grand Valley. A 1st and 10 with 3:08 left in the contest. The clock will continue to run, and that's been an effective play and a nice kick-out block. We see the man taken out of the play defensively for Michigan Tech. That was Cedric Jones, and I think it was Jamie Potts that got him and allowed.
Jamie Potts giving the feed me signal. He's loving this blocking downfield and really enjoying getting down and dirty on the outside. A great job of blocking downfield. And how about that draw play? That play has worked really well tonight.
Very effective. I think we're going to see Spencer again. Oh, it's Bart Williams this time. How about this? He's going to dive and get down at the 23-yard line. Clock continues. We talked about Tom Curley, the ex-CMU guy. I want to go off the script a little bit here as we take a look at that last play. They had the Hall of Fame ceremony up, and we're going to get a timeout here for Michigan Tech. I guess we will, and we'll keep it here right now. Hey, Bob, with homecoming coming up next week, and we talked about Tom Curley, the ex-CMU guy. I want to go off the script a little bit here as we take a look at that last play. They had the Hall of Fame ceremony up in Mount Pleasant today, honoring the basketball team at Central Michigan, my alma mater, from 74-75. I had a couple of good friends that were up there for that ceremony. The former Piston player, Ben Pocat, who lives in West Michigan now, and Grand Haven. They had a lot of West Michiganians there, and my college roommate Dennis Parks, former CMU captain, also inducted into the Hall of Fame. He invited me to the dinner last night. I couldn't make it because of soccer, and I wanted to shout out to those guys.
Nice.
But they had Kurt Kading from Ionia and also Jim Helming from Holland, all part of that great Central team, a team that won the MAC title, their first year Division I basketball, won 2 games in the NCAA tournament that year against Georgetown and Oregon State before losing to the eventual national champion runner-up, Kentucky. So to the guys up there in Mount Pleasant, sorry I'm not there with you, but congrats. Kirk Spencer on the draw again. Kirk Spencer! Oh, down to the 5-yard line he goes, and that will just put a little more salt in the wounds. But Kirk Spencer's come up with some big plays, and Now we're in a situation where the scoreline might flatter the Lakers a little bit here.
Watch the way he just turns his bodies and contours his shoulders to just avoid the tackle. Just great footwork, great body control by Kirk Spencer. And you could tell he wanted that end zone. He was running hard, running downfield. And again, the draw play coming up effective for Grand Valley. It's tough when you're playing a team like Grand Valley who's got so many weapons on the inside, the outside, and they're trying to put pressure, and all of a sudden they instill the draw play. I mean, how frustrating for a defensive lineman trying to put pressure on and then coming up with that play.
Oh, look at that. Back pass. Thank you very much. How about that? And who is it that latched onto that? I think that's Kaiser down there.
It is.
The tight end.
Nick Kaiser, 6'5", 245 from Portage, Michigan, with the big little fake block and release.
I don't know if we get a picture of Tom Curley right now, but he's going, oh, you got me. They're not happy about that from Tech. And Spencer, who's become quite a touchdown maker in the passing game. That's 2 now this last 3 games or so for Kirk. And it's 37-21, and Skipper's on for the extra point try, and Grand Valley has put this one to sleep as Skipper knocks it through. 1:45 to go. We'll come back for the rest of it here tonight on Xfinity and the Grand Valley Sports Network.
Refreshment calls, Coors Light answers.
Anybody else?
Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
How's it going? Nice to meet you guys. I have these 2 laptops. We're gonna each download a TV show. I'm gonna download it on Xfinity, and you guys are gonna download it with AT&T Uverse, and we're gonna see who goes faster. Go.
Well, this is a no-brainer so far.
How's AT&T doing?
Struggling.
I'm ready to go. We'll wait for you guys.
Looks like we're gonna be waiting for a while.
Don't let Uverse slow you down. Upgrade to an Xfinity X1 Triple Play from Comcast and save when you bundle. See for yourself. Call 1-800-XFINITY or visit Comcast.com today.
Well, there's Kirk Spencer alone with his thoughts, maybe waving to the family. Well, Michigan Tech has had the ball a lot tonight. I think the stat that we had earlier from the truck, they've run 73 offensive plays, but not enough to win this ball game, barring some really unforeseen circumstances. There's a great tackle down there on special teams for Grand Valley, and that was Grant Postma who made the stop, a walk-on player. Freshman from Zeeland. Let's take a look at what our guys have been doing tonight to bring this to you. We've had some wire problems there. We had to change out a lot of cord tonight. Brad Scott on camera. Tony Packer up there. Terry Ballard locked in and loaded. Our webmaster, Dave Hoekstra. Big Tony next to us.
What a good-looking crew.
Nick Smith, Paul DeLue, James Batens, not always that animated. The pensive one, John Van Doren, and our producer-director, Bill Cuppy. Our merry little band. It looks like it takes a cast of hundreds, Bob, to pull this off, but we've got about a dozen guys that make it happen, and we are grateful for their efforts here tonight. We've enjoyed this one. It's turned out to be a fine ball game. Tech has given it its all, and they're not done just yet. They're going to throw it across the middle, and Walter took some punishment there. He was lined up for a shot, and that was, I believe, Mr. Schlosser again, who put the knock on him, and some of the teammates like that one. They're going to move the chains here. Well, no, they're not going to move the chains. It's going to be 2nd and short. Oh, I don't think you want to meet Colin Schlosser under those terms. Geez. Here's a big pass rush this time, but Cowie got away. He almost gave the first down away. He's finally dragged down, chased by Matt Judon. And who else was that over there? I think it was Marquez Goldman, too, that made the stop. We're going down toward 1:10 left in the contest now. Grand Valley leading by 17. Tech's going to play this one out all the way to the finish. Judon with a big push here. Little flip into the flat. Can Grand Valley break down and make a tackle? They do, and they keep the clock rolling. And that is, again, Tally over there, the linebacker. Now we're down inside the final 50 seconds here of the contest. Ball just into Grand Valley territory. The Lakers lead at 38-21. Another big game for Bart Williams. Some exciting touchdown plays. That ball is complete in front of McKissick. I think that's Walter out there again. Boy, he's had some kind of a night statistically in terms of number of catches.
Yeah, you talk about that time of possession, almost Michigan Tech almost doubling up.
I think that's the 14th catch tonight. He's had 2 on this drive. David Walter for over 100 yards. No touchdowns, though. He's long as 16. So he's been putting in a shift, as they say, right, Bob?
Absolutely.
He's taken some knocks for his efforts. So we're down to 38 seconds remaining. Ball at the 40. Boy, big pass rush this time for Grand Valley. The ball is incomplete. We'd like to remind you, if you're a Grand Valley football fan, we will be back here next Saturday for the homecoming game against Findlay starting at 7 o'clock. And we're expecting a great effort from Findlay, a much improved team.
Great offensive team, and you looked at the schedule at the beginning of the season, thought it was really front-loaded with Ohio Dominican and Ferris, and look at the teams at Michigan Tech, Findlay, and Ashland coming out at the end. Great teams coming down the stretch for Grand Valley to make a playoff push.
They're going to flip it out here. That ball should have been completed for pretty big yardage. Cowie, though, could not make the connection that time with Kevin Miller at a caravan out in front. Also want to remind people about the activities that we have coming up on Friday on the Grand Valley Sports Network. Hillsdale will be in for volleyball action. Deanne Scanlon's squad playing in that one. So a busy week ahead. And, of course, if you're not doing anything tomorrow at the lunch hour, come out and see one of the nation's finest teams, the soccer team from Grand Valley. 13 straight wins taking on Northern Michigan after a 7-0 win last night over Michigan Tech. Cowie is going to go down, and that might just about do it here. Ball back to the 45-yard line. Clock continues to run. Tech is going to scramble, try to get one more play in here. They don't have their people in the right place. Grand Valley playing an all-out prevent right here. 4th and a long way to go down inside the final 10. Cowie gets to take one last shot at the end zone. He's got a man out here for a completion, but the game is going to end on that play as Walter's 15th catch takes him to the sideline, and the Grand Valley players storm out on the field. Matt Mitchell races across to shake hands with a guy that he has a lot of respect for, Tom Curley. Curley was a guy that knew Brian Kelly and his staff very well, and they had developed a relationship down through the years. The fireworks going off in the background. It was quite a night. We saw a good one here this evening. Michigan Tech came out early, got the 7-0 lead, but then Grand Valley by the intermission by with those 24 unanswered points really set things in motion for the victory here tonight.
Grand Valley offensively and defensively did a great job tonight. Michigan Tech did what they like to do, control the ball, possess the ball, and put up some points. Grand Valley just a little bit more explosive offensively, and you go back to that huge play by Matt Judon forcing the fumble as Michigan Tech was going in to score their second touchdown of the game and go up 14 points, and Grand Valley was able to march down, tie the game, and then come back and score, like you said, 24 unanswered points. Grand Valley just too explosive for Michigan Tech tonight.
Tech goes to 5-1 of the season. Grand Valley 6-1. 2 touchdown catches for Jamie Potts. Brandon Bean injured but had a touchdown, and another big game for Bart Williams, and the defense did enough. The Lakers get the win. So that'll do it tonight here from Allendale at Lubber Stadium. The unbeaten string ends for Michigan Tech. Grand Valley marches on. For our producer-director, Bill Cuppy, and for our entire crew, I'm Tom Cleary. For my partner, Bob Mitchell, thanks for joining us. The final score tonight, Grand Valley 38, Michigan Tech 21.